Hey, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dig on America podcast, DOA, episode number 2, the podcast where socio-political issues and Mickey Feminier collide. What do you think of that? Is that a good tagline for you?
No.
Oh, he's on mute, and he's on mute and complaining. Okay, so we'll come up with something a little bit better. Welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Dutch here with the darkest of all dark nights. From the caves of Gotham, Big Hussein. What's happening, Big Husizzle?
What's up, my melanin deficient brother?
I am melanin deficient, that's for sure. I'm even pastier than normal right now. I've been unable to get to the tanning beds and the gym or anything like that lately. So I've got something for you. It's a pasty chest.
I've got something for you.
Also, the producer extraordinaire who's about to get ripped in two. Mickey Feminier, no longer of Antifa. He has dropped his Antifa ties and has joined QAnon. What's happening?
Don't worry, guys. I'll mute him halfway through the show and I won't tell him. And then it'll be funnier when he has to edit this later.
Yeah.
It will be funnier. Also, we have a guest with us today. So we'll welcome this. I don't know if he's a gentleman or not yet. And I don't know if he's a good guest or not yet. We'll find all this shit out as we go along with the show. From the comedy podcast Cult of Us, Adam, pre-pause, Nutter, welcome to the show.
What's up?
From Drop.
Who's that?
Adam is from our friends over at Drama City Productions podcast network, who we are not necessarily on that network, but we're like in their group chat or something like
we know each other. You know, we've been at the same parties and everything.
Yeah. We're Eskimo brothers.
We bang the same people. So
we do, absolutely. Yeah, you bang Delvin Cox, and so do we.
Felicia.
That's right. Thank you. That's right. I bang Delvin Cox. That's the other way around. Just for everybody out there, I fuck him. That's right.
Let me get on Twitch and clip that. Let me get on Twitch and clip that. Real quick.
Hey, I've banged Delvin Cox. Haas has banged Delvin Cox. You've banged Delvin Cox. We all bang Steve Cox.
I love Delvin. He's awesome.
Yes, he's a nice fellow. So welcome to the show, Adam. I'll tell you what. Why don't we start with this? Tell us a little bit about your show before we get into the socio-political mess of the week, and tell us a little bit about what you got going on over there at your shit.
So my podcast Cult of Us, I do with my buddy who's another comic, Neil Wood. We do it every Wednesday night. We go live at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And it's just usually us hanging out, trying to make you guys laugh. We want you guys to join our cult of comedy. We decided that we have to split leadership of our cult, obviously. So he's the Pope. He's more behind the scenes, leader. I'm the president. I'm a de facto fake. I'm like a figurehead. I just want to be the face. I just want to shake hands. I don't want to do any real work. So we're trying to get a little cult following. It's just fun. Two comics goofing around. We bring on guests sometimes. We just had on the great Dave Temple, who's a good friend of ours, great comic. So yeah, check it out. It's available everywhere, YouTube, all that good stuff. So please subscribe and all that. Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
I'll tell you what, you can decide whether or not he's funny. I love how my smoke interferes with the green screen there. That's pretty fucking amazing. But it's cheap. I can Windex it away.
Cheap.
Yeah, it's fucking cheap. We don't make any goddamn money on this show. What do you think? I'm going to spend fucking money on the green screen? I got the one for $17.
You could check your settings. You could check your settings too.
Nah, that's right. Well, so forewarning. I haven't quite fixed the internet issues I've been having here, but I have put in a lot of mitigation. So I have a little extender here. I've got another backup solution if this fails.
You need the
cable guy. Well, the cable guy comes to fix it. No, I don't need that extender. You might need that extender, but I don't need that extender.
We need. Come on.
But hey, you think I'd be able to keep my wife the way she looks if I needed an extender? You're out of your fucking mind.
Stockholm syndrome.
He's got a long tongue.
Thanks. With friends like you fuckers, who needs that?
Gene Simmons is a good example. He's not a looker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
he's got, but he has money. That's
true.
Something else I'm lacking.
A whole
But,
bunch of other people got money, but they was flocking.
You're gonna
to
love my
shows.
nuts.
You will love them. So let's get into the show for today. So the first thing that I want to do is we are having an argument here because the other day, yesterday actually, I was up for 4 hours. 4 hours. Putting in some funny sound clips into our intro music. And I sent it out to these goofballs. And they said to me, Dutch, or Haas didn't say shit, to be honest with you.
I'm about to tell the whole truth. I said
Mikey,
like
Mikey said, "Oh, I don't like it. It's not very good." Etc.
No, I said it sounded like shit. No, don't misquote me.
Where did it go? I sent it to the group chat, and it's not there anymore.
Probably threw itself away. It was garbage.
Threw itself
Okay.
off.
All right, you know what? All right. Well, all that's going to do is delay the show because now I have to go get that because we are fucking playing it. God damn it. We're playing
the caucasity.
Yes, the caucasity of it all. We are playing that shit. So I will.
How about you let me
and bring it in? So
how about you let me mix and master it, and then it will sound good, and then people can hear the good version as opposed to the Dutch version.
The good shit, not the bullshit.
I don't see what's wrong with the Dutch version.
I know you don't see it because you're not a musician or a producer or a sound engineer.
But I
happen
am.
to be all three of them.
You don't know. Obviously, you don't know anything about my background. So
tell me about your musical experience there, Dutch. Since we're distracting our guests and having a pissing contest
Dutch,
on the internet.
I'm not having a contest with you, but you made an assumption about me there, which happened to be incorrect. For 9 years, I was a member of the underground rap scene as an actual rapper who was fucking good, if not great, and was solicited for by multiple producers and stuff. I've opened up for a lot of shows. I worked at a lot of the different clubs down in the early 1990s. And I will admit, I wasn't a very good DJ, but I did DJ for 2 or 3 years as well, kind of on the side. Thought about getting into that after they tried to commercialize my music. So there's a reason why people still call me Bleach to this day. There are actually clubs that I used to walk into in Chicago as early as, or as late, I would say, as probably 2015, when I still lived there, where the DJ would know me and they'd actually announce that I was fucking there, even though people had no fucking clue who the fuck I was. They'd be like, MC Bleach in the fucking house. So, you know, I do know a little bit about it. Am I the world's greatest musician? Am I the world's greatest fucking anything? No, of course I'm not. But to assume that I don't know anything about the music business is a little bit wrong.
That's not what I accused you of. I accused you of not being a musician, which is true, and not being a producer, which is true.
So because I don't play the guitar,
you're a performer, which is different than, and a writer, which is different than a musician and a producer.
Because I don't play a guitar or a piano, then I can't be a musician.
Can we please put our dicks away?
What if I play the harmonica?
Hold on. First of all, I think you just told the story of 8 Mile. I'm pretty sure that was 8 Mile.
Right. Wait a minute.
The great thing is, I preceded
rabbits.
I preceded 8 Mile. I started.
Put your pink silo away and let's get on with the show,
baby. This is the show.
I just thought 8 Mile would be a funny joke. I wasn't really being serious.
No, it was perfect.
Now, but Mikey again though has delayed me from getting that pulled up. So let's do this. We'll come back to that in a bit. But for now, we'll start out the show with actually talking about one of the first topics we're going to talk about. So I'm sure the other guys have some other stuff too. I want to start out with an actual video that I pulled, or not an actual video, but a video that I pulled regarding a lot of these prophecies that these people are going absolutely insane right now. So I want you guys to listen to this real quick video. It's about 2 minutes long, and you feel free to pause me at any time through this, but it's basically a compilation. I can never say, I can't say that, and I can't say the Pacific Ocean. I can never say
to be fair, right? I only say compilation when I'm watching porn. That's the only time I ever
porn.
Say that.
Holy shit. You just put it in the right
fair.
Context for me. Now I can actually say it.
Yeah.
So, I just call them comps. You know, I don't have time. I'm one of those hip new kids. I don't have time for compilation. You see that new comp? It's dope.
Yeah, well, let's play that little comp. Let's play a little comp right here. And by the way, Adam, when we say pause, that means there was some sexual innuendo because you're new here. So,
okay.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's see what we got going on here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I can't believe they just said that.
I agree with the dude on the left. I don't know about you guys.
Just awesome. give it a fucking second.
Oh boy!
Watch the dude on the left be a Nazi now. I'm like, fuck. No, I was kidding. I didn't know it was on screen.
I love eating children, and I am the man on the left. Damn it!
We are a reptilian blood-sucking culture.
It's like that dude Adam was right about us. I was like, ah.
So can you guys?
Everyone in black hats agrees with me, right? I agree with the guy on the left.
All right. So now you're ready.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
First of all, I want to say without question, Trump is going to win the election. And that doesn't mean you sit home and don't vote. That means you get out and do everything you can to work, but he's going to win. That's, I think, a given.
Because I am speaking from the future.
Yes, you are.
This moment.
Right this moment.
And I am going to proclaim that President Trump will be president of the United States.
Hallelujah.
In Jesus' name.
Will it be an 8-year presidency?
Absolutely. Absolutely, we will.
You're sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
Hey, everyone. Alan.
Okay, so we don't need to hear the last guy. Just a few of those there. So now, these people have started to go a little bit off the deep end over the course of the last few days. As I'm sure that you guys can imagine, there's been a little bit of blowback within the Christian community and stuff like that, where people are starting to kind of question their faith. So now apparently when I'm pulling these videos up in the problem I was having here just for you guys is that when I was pulling the videos up, they were popping up in a different app. So this is something that Sid Roth posted today that is sort of his comeback to all the stuff that I just played you a second ago. There's probably 30 of them, but we get the context from the first 3 or 4, right? So here is Sid Roth's statement from today, and I found this to be pretty astonishing. So here we go.
Pro-Israel president since Harry Truman. And he was the most pro-Judeo-Christian religious freedom president that I've ever seen. I mean, he did some. I'm not going to take the time to explain that. That's not why you're viewing me now.
I don't have to prove my facts.
But
here we go.
I want to sincerely ask. It's my pastor's heart that's really the strong thing promoting this. I want to sincerely ask for forgiveness for saying Trump would serve another term. And I do take full responsibility for what I said. And I was equally disappointed that, and really sorry for those of you whose faith faltered or was diminished as a result of hearing he was going to win and seeing that he didn't win.
Okay. This is just stuff that makes me so happy to listen to, because I've been telling you motherfuckers for 4 years. Mikey, as the atheist here, you get first shot.
That's your people's. Yo, hey, Dutch, are you all right? This is a wellness check, man. I know we had a little dust up about the music thing.
Oh, we're gonna have another one in a minute. We're not done. We're not done. You thought you were safe? You thought this was a safe space? You ain't done. But I'm
just saying, are you good now that your faith has been challenged because God told these people that this man was going to be president? Does that shake the pillars of your reality about your religion? Are you shaken to your core?
No, because it was all fake to begin with.
Ah!
It was all for this funny thing.
Jesus.
Called ratings.
What?
No, it's about this, man. It wasn't about ratings. It was about money.
I was going to say that dude sounded like somebody who was like, my money hurt because Trump didn't win. So he's like, no, I got to backpedal. It doesn't like but like he's just a fucking performer. That's the thing is like that's why I don't take. It's like I don't look at these people and go, oh, look at this idiot. It's like, yeah, because I know what he's about. Like it's not genuine. We all know that it's not genuine. It's such bullshit. We're like, all right, dude, we get it. That's your gimmick. You're running with it. You're going to run with it until it runs out. Ran out 4 years before you thought it would. Okay, now you're going to have to figure it out again.
Got to come up with a new gimmick.
Right, that's it now. Now
that was the blind preacher before.
Yeah, now you got to rebrand. But that shit to me, though, like that craziness to me is no different than when Trump won 4 years ago and you had like the woman outside the White House being like, no, like it's the same thing. It's the same crazy, just the other way. It's like, yeah, crazy's crazy, man. Like, yep, that checks. You know, it tracks. Yeah, a crazy person who's super aligned themselves with Trump for maybe money, maybe more than that. Yes, it's like, yeah, of course. It's just
you got to call Mel Gibson for that rebrand tips.
Right.
Yeah. Now we just got to see this guy try to figure it out and be like, all right, well, I'll work
angry
it back.
vengeance cop movies.
Now hear me out. Lethal Weapon 18. Now I know it sounds crazy.
We're gonna name it Hard Evidence.
Hard Evidence.
Or what was it? Spaceballs where they go Rocky 5,000. Yeah. What?
Out there.
I am curious though, Mikey, for your honest. I mean, obviously you like having fun with me, but let's be honest, you like having fun with these people too. So, what do you have even the slightest bit of sympathy for these poor white people?
Not all of them are white, Dutch.
No, they're not.
I
can name you. No, unfortunately, there's a lot of black people.
Don't forget this something. This is an interesting fact or stat. Trump won the black vote and the Hispanic vote and the woman vote, and Biden lost more of the black and Hispanic vote than Hillary had.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
That's it's not hard to well, speaking as a black dude, I understand it because
I don't. That's what I'm saying. So first of all, I want to get this out of the way, by the way, because we're talking about politics. I'm a libertarian. I'm a very hardcore libertarian. I have to get that out of the way because once they start to talk about politics, people who aren't libertarian tend to mold me into whatever they don't like. So you know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking to a conservative or Republican, they're like, you're a progressive. And I'm like, no. If I talk to a progressive or a lefty, they're like, you're a MAGA. I go, no, I'm a libertarian. I have to get that out of the way. So, just preface all that shit with this. But
I was just going to say that, these, how do I say this? Black dudes sometimes are very down with the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So therefore, a guy like Trump resonates with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Also in the black community, there's a pretty sizable anti-LGBT sentiment.
Yeah.
Okay. So Biden represents compassion and empathy for people from those communities.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, a guy like Trump resonates with those people. You should have seen some of the stuff that was coming out in the black community when Biden lifted the ban on transgenders in the military a couple of days ago. You see what I mean? Like, oh, this is what we're talking about. They're going to be pushing this agenda on us.
Right.
Now,
so, I'm trying to do this to my kids.
As a libertarian here, right. I will say this. Now, I looked into that thing when Trump first did it. Do you know what they were the military was complaining about? It was like oh, we're spending taxpayer money on like switching genders. And that was the argument.
On the surgery?
Yes. That was the argument. And now I'm fucking against taxes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want my taxes going anywhere. So fuck it. Yeah, take it out. Let's get that shit out of here. But like now, I'm sure it could have been for other shit. Sure. But the technical reason was there was a money issue.
It's all about the money, baby. It always comes back to the green. Yeah. That's the only. I mean,
yeah.
And don't feel lonely, by the way, Adam. Real quick, because I also am mostly a libertarian. So
that's just long form for libtard, dude.
He is right though, because when I'm talking to someone who's all the way on the left, they're like, "Oh, you're a fucking racist."
I could call it Nazi consistently when I argue lefty. Consistently, I go,
tattoos in the beard, man.
I'm like, oh no. I know I look like a fucking heroin addict. I get it.
I was gonna say that. I was totally gonna say that.
You
I get
have
it.
much too much flesh tone in your palate.
And your
for,
beard's too well groomed, you asshole.
Yeah, it's not scraggly enough. Where the patches at? I
Fuck
don't
you
see any
and your
oils
nice
on your
beard.
skin.
But I'm a comic, so I can look whatever I want. So
Right.
But that's the thing is, it's a lonely thing. But like that's why it's like that's why I have to keep going. Like, no, guys, I'm a libertarian. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your fucking politics. I care about the truth. That's it. I care about the truth. I care about not spending my money, and I care about you could do you and I get to do me. That's what I want.
Can I push back on that for just a second?
Oh yeah, please.
This is one of my.
We get off the preacher somehow. Okay, get this. Okay.
Ew.
Get off the preacher.
Big pause.
Pause.
Big pause. So my problem with libertarians is I think they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too.
Okay.
Because it would be great to live in a society where you didn't have to be taxed by the government. So then who manages the roads?
Hold on, Mikey. That's like libertarian 101. Like the road thing is very funny to say that. It's like our low hanging fruit. It's like our fucking home run balls. No, that's very easy. So
I haven't heard a good answer. So
really,
hit me up.
Okay, I'll give you. All right. Do you remember a few years ago, Domino's were running commercials and they were just paving roads? Remember that? And they were like,
fixing potholes or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. They were fixing potholes, paving roads. They're like, hey, we're doing this shit for free. We're fixing low-income communities because the government quit on them. All we're going to do is put our fucking logo somewhere and be like, hey, sponsored by Domino's, right? We're taking care of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, push that to roads. This is what you do. I'm going to keep using Domino's, all right? This is an easy example. Now you have Domino's go, hey, we're gonna build the roads. We're actually going to, because let's be honest, are there roads good anywhere? Can we be honest? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, there's tons of good roads.
Where? In the cities, guys? No, they're not.
Oh no, we're talking about. I'm talking about like you get out on the turnpike on the East Coast. That thing is sweet.
Yeah, sure.
Our roads in California are actually okay, believe it or not.
Where you at, Adam?
I'm from New York, Staten Island, but now I live outside.
Oh, that's why you hate the roads.
Yeah,
man.
that's why you got
from New York.
I also travel the country. Well, fair. I also travel the country. Well, I was traveling the country doing comedy at the time, and all the cities I've been to, a lot of places. I'm telling you. You're driving. I'm like, am I in America or Baghdad? Where the fuck are we right now? Because you're like,
you've been on the south side of Chicago.
You're really driving like that.
West side.
So
yeah,
so,
I'll tell you this right now. On the south side and the west side of Chicago, the roads are left like that. So when the cops are chasing people through the streets, fuck they shit.
Bottom out.
Yeah, the cops' tires can take it. They're 94 LeBaron tires.
Right, 94 LeBaron with fucking 38-inch rims on it with this much fucking rim.
You want to slow down. You want to slow down over the pothole and go real slow, but turn to the left a little bit.
That Box Caprice Classic with the 24s on it ain't gonna make it.
Don't tear up the Caprice.
But what you said is necessary. What you said basically is true in the inner cities.
All right. Well, it's not even the inner city. I'm telling you, it's like all of Staten Island is. I'm telling you, the roads are.
All of Staten Island is an inner city.
It's not true. Not where I grew up.
Okay, finish your
analogy. Very white Italian place.
we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
So Domino's.
That's
goes,
your white privilege for you.
Domino's goes. We're gonna build the roads here, and we're not gonna charge anybody shit. We're just gonna have like on the side of the roads, like the adopt a highway sign paid for by Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, let's say I live in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Okay. Let's say Domino's comes through Newtown, Pennsylvania. Like, hey, we want to take the contract for your roads. We go, great. 2-year contract with Domino's for our roads. Okay. Let's say Domino's starts fucking up, not holding up to their contract. We get to go, you know what? Nabisco Road guys, they're actually going to come in now with the same price and actually do a better job. And we're going to kick you guys out. There is now incentive for Domino's to do a good job. There is no incentive for the government to do a good job. They can't lose their job. They don't have a job to earn money. It's our job to give them money. They don't take a lunch pail every day and clock in and out of a job. They don't. The government doesn't have a job.
What are we going to do about the interstates then? We're going to do that with the interstates too?
Yeah, of course. Yes. Because if you guys don't think that big business would easily jump on that, well, they do it for everything already. So
Yeah,
why
but-
wouldn't they do it now?
We do have a problem though with libertarian philosophy, and libertarian philosophy.
Hear it.
Well, and this is someone who I'm a registered libertarian, okay, but I subscribe to the basis of libertarian philosophy. That doesn't mean it's perfect, right? I don't have to subscribe to every single thing
Sure.
that the libertarian platform picks
I
out.
don't either. I don't either.
And most libertarians are not like that. Most libertarians are conservatives that don't like the Republican Party for one reason or another. That's what we're generally surrounded with.
I mean, the joke is we're conservatives like to smoke weed. That's a joke, but like it's not. I mean, personally, that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, the weed thing is true 100%. But I'm smoking weed right now. But the conservative thing isn't. I mean, I'm conservative in some things, but I'm fucking liberal and I guess the thing is like. I mean.
Oh, you like me?
But the idea is that if you're a Republican but you are pro weed like Greg Gutfeld or something like that, or if you're a Republican like Tommy Lahren or Kayleigh McNamee, who are pro choice, those two,
yeah,
they would be someone who would be likely to be libertarian. Ben Shapiro claims to be a libertarian.
He's not. Oh, he is 100% not a libertarian.
So but there are people who have some libertarian leanings. The thing is that libertarianism has changed to be this in some ways even more conservative than the Republican Party is, because they're like, oh no, it's 100% no government. And some of them are anarchists, but originally when libertarianism in this country was founded, it was founded as a left-leaning philosophy. It was very liberal in its origins in the United States.
Hold on, though. At the time, don't forget, though, everybody, political philosophies switched pretty quickly in this country. You're right. Libertarianism did form left-leaning at the time. At the time, left-leaning was anti-government. Now they're fucking pro-government. It's different. So libertarianism still holds to the old classic liberal of anti-government.
Well, are you referring to like
I'm talking to the Democrats right now.
Knights of Labor or something like that type of
like Biden and like that. His whole party is not for any of that shit. They're all in bed with Wall Street and business.
Well, because that's all right. So you touched on two things there. First of all, and I know Mikey wants to say something, so I'm going to shut up in 10 seconds. First of all, the okay, go ahead, go first, because you totally made me forget what I was going to say. This fucking guy, I swear to God, I had this point and I was going to make it. And it was going to be salient, and it was going to be strong, and it was going to be great. And
so, as a libertarian, I bought my own paper and my own pen so I could remember my ideas.
And you know what, Mikey, I fucking appreciate that.
So who regulates these roads? The Domino's, like the build quality that Domino's does. Who makes sure that road is safe to drive on? Domino's.
Okay, so this is the thing is well, first of all, you can have independent. Okay, so if you want to go down that road, no pun intended. It really wasn't, but just this is the easier way. The quick answer to that is like no, it's because it would be customer based, right? So again, it goes back to my thing is if you drive your car and your car goes through a pothole, right? Mm-hmm. That's the contract as a town or whatever you make with that company. It's like, no, they're liable for your shit. That's the part of the contract you're making. It's not just like we're a dictator on the roads now. They're not taking over. They're not the king of the roads.
Okay,
they're taking a contract.
King of the road.
So you're saying that Domino's in that case would take all liability for any in infrastructure or structural deficiencies of their project, and they would be liable for any damages that would accrue from that.
Yes, because
you honestly think that Domino's would take on that much liability for branding?
So
a pothole,
yes, absolutely. Some companies will, yes.
A pothole is filling in a hole in an already beveled, laid gravel. All that shit has been taken care of. It's been built by engineers. Filling in a pothole is the easy part. So you're saying that now they have to take on the whole project. So now they have to hire. Now they have to hire engineers. Now they have to make sure everything is great. Now they have to make sure, like, all of the runoff water, all that runoff water has to go. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, libertarianism is such a quick look at so complicated of a problem, because there's no, like, where does that rainwater go?
Okay, but you're talking about it like
into the city sewer system. There is no city because everything's been privatized. So the Domino's. Well, why would the city run anything if we're going to privatize everything? If they can't run the roads, then why should they run the sewer system? Why should they handle the runoff? Why should they handle the levies? Like, that's what I'm saying. So I don't want Amazon in charge of all of that, because Amazon has a profit motive.
Because they're getting money So we're, in other words, we're paying Domino's.
Right.
It's not a tax. It's like a fee. We all
Right.
agree. In other words, you get to vote. I don't get to vote on the government who they fucking use for my roads. They pick the cheapest. This is true.
You vote for who decides, though.
Okay, but what you're about to say, hold on real quick, Adam. What you're about to say is not necessarily going to be true. I'm predicting what you're saying, so stop me.
What am I going to say? No, what am I going to say?
Well, he was going to say that the government hires the cheapest contractor to do the job. Is that where you're going?
The cheapest, not like
the lowest bidder.
The lowest bidder, which is true.
Okay. Right. That's true, but it's also not true. I had 8 years in construction, so it's the lowest qualified bidder, number one.
Right.
Okay. So that you have to be qualified. I can't just pull up in a truck without a license and bid. And number two, these jobs pay either standard or Davis-Bacon prevailing wage, which means that they are making more than any private company would pay them. Example, the company that I worked for did concrete polishing and epoxy, right?
Polishing the hard stuff, huh?
The polishing the hard stuff is what we love to do. But when we would bid on that, we would have two different sections of the company. One was union and the other was not union. The union part of the company made more money only for one reason, and one reason only, that those five guys existed, was they were the government, the prevailing wage crew. The people who did the private work and worked at the restaurants and the gas stations and stuff like that, they made $14, $15 an hour. Prevailing wage is like $29. Okay, so the myth that it is the cheapest labor is completely false. Private sector is getting the cheapest labor. Government is actually, in many cases, overpaying for the labor that they're getting for these jobs.
And I thought that. Okay.
No, but this is what happens though, is like, it's because they're writing their own loopholes to be in charge of it. That's the thing. It's just the same thing with the Wall Street shit, right? That's going on right now. Is like the reason that they're all pissed about the GameStop thing, all these Wall Street guys, is because they had laws written to protect them.
Inconceivable.
Right? That's the whole thing. Same thing. So government comes in and they go, okay, well, we're going to make a law that says we have to do it this way and you can't do it that way. Okay? And they're like, well, and then you could be like, well, but my company could do it better and faster, and I'll pay my guys the proper salary that we all agree upon. They could go, well, no, we don't think that way. We think it's going to be this way. And there's no vote. There's no vote. And by the way, and this is also the thing, Mikey, come on. Yeah, we could vote for anybody when they get in there, and then they do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's bullshit. Like, that's what I'm saying. They're not, politicians are people who are bought and sold for by lobbyists, anybody.
Right, but who are those lobbyists? Who do those lobbyists represent?
Big business, which again, government, right, which we don't have free market capitalism. We have crony capitalism, which we are against as libertarians. Right. So here's not crony. I'm sorry.
Exactly. I just wanted you to clarify that.
Okay. So here's my olive branch, and we can meet eye to eye on this and then move on to the next thing. I am 1,000% for getting all money out of politics.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Unless you want to do like
private donations.
Every person gets $1,000 maximum.
Right.
Like split it up between whoever you want to split.
Was that the Yang? Was that Yang?
Yeah, that was the freedom dollars that they had, and it would come from the government, so it would be a government funded.
I love Andrew.
Yeah, I'm against that, but I'm for the idea of like, no,
well, it would come out of your tax money, so it wouldn't be a burden to some people. You know what I'm saying? So they can't, so that some people are disenfranchised and they're not able to participate.
But I do like that idea.
Everybody gets to participate in funding campaigns that they agree with.
I do like that idea because obviously, I mean, I don't have to say this, but fucking money in politics ruins this. It literally ruined the country, right?
We can't have a real conversation about it because whether I make a point or you make a point, we're both pissing in the ocean.
That's
because it's just if either one of us is right, someone could just still say, all right, I'm gonna get my nephew to do it because he has a shell company that I just made yesterday.
Right. But that's kind of why when we get into these political discussions and ideological thought, that's kind of why we have to just kind of go off of like, I think ideologically my idea is better, because we will never truly see it come into play because people are scumbags. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's why when I do these, I go, we kind of just have to argue in the sense of like, this would be better if we could all agree that people wouldn't fuck it up.
Well, if the four of us were in charge of the country, it might be different, But then again, we could be corrupted too. I would hope that I wouldn't. I would hope that I wouldn't be.
Everyone has a price. Everyone has a price, though. Everyone has a price, Jason. Everyone has a price. So, like, it doesn't matter. Like, we could sit here and be like, "Oh, I wouldn't be corrupted." If someone dropped $1 billion in front of me, I go, "Who am I killing?"
All they have to do is bring out Rosario Dawson. I'm like, shit.
It's so beautiful. It's crazy. But
well, that's how Corey.
I wouldn't even have to sleep with her. She just has to ask me. If she just asked me, I would do it.
That's how Cory Booker got bought off. So the DNC brought Rosario Dawson to him, and they said, "Here you go. Don't drop out of the race."
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Miss Jedi Man.
I'll take my vegan burger, and I will dropo out of El Reso.
Soy El Blacko, everybody. Soy El Blacko.
With my broken Spanish, even my Espanol is better than his. But but I will say that would you agree that the Libertarian Party has been infiltrated by way too many conservatives who are claiming libertarian?
Disagree. I think it's the other way around.
You think what?
I think it's more you have far lefties breaking in claiming the libertarian. They're not. I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty heavy in the party. Like,
is this a new trend you're talking about? Like in during Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that may be true, but up until that point, so would it be correct to assume that your answer would be Dutch? Your answer is correct up until maybe 2 years into Trump. Maybe Trump has changed this, and I'm not aware of that, or no.
No, I think before Trump, actually, you had the Libertarian Party was pretty neutral in their ideas.
Right.
I think Trump fractured it in a lot of ways where he drove a lot of people to it. So I think your answer is
right. I agree.
They both happened, if anything, but I still think it's more lefties than righties. More righties still hold to the Republican Party. I don't know why.
Follow-up question on something you just said. So like it drove, like you're saying he drove people over. Like, what do you think it was? Like, or said, or did, or maybe his family. So, like, what do you think drove them into the libertarianism?
It was two things. It wasn't just Trump. It was Hillary too. It was that whole thing.
Sure,
People literally went, "Oh, her." Like, like they're like, that's who you're fucking pushing,
right?
Because people are like, how about Tulsi? How about Bernie? They're like, no, her.
Yeah, the worst decision in the history of American politics, in my opinion.
And people were like, no. And the Trump thing is obvious, right? So what he fractured people away. They're like, no, too abrasive, out. So they left. People left the Democratic Party because they're like, oh, you like actually scammed the DNC, like they actually like lied, right? Like they actually did dubious shit.
They fucked over Bernie.
Did you like Bernie? I like. Here's what politically, no, I'm against almost everything he stands for, right? Like I'm against it, but I like this. What I do like about Bernie. He's honest. He believes what he believes, and I don't think he's full of shit. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate listen. He also drives fucking. He's rich, all right. So let's cut the shit. But like. I believe he believes what he says. When I look at Joe Biden, I go, "You're fucking lying to my face." That's just true. That's just, you know. But with him, I go, "No, I get it. Yang, same. Tulsi, same. These are lefties I'm talking about."
I was totally Yang gang, and
me too.
I knew early on he wasn't gonna make it. But I was like, God damn it, dude. Just keep fucking scrapping, man. You're giving me fucking strength right now.
And again, dude, I don't agree with these people. A lot of what they say, but I do some of what they say, sure. But
how about I'm gonna bug you again. What about UBI?
No.
Why not?
I don't. It's the same thing of it's gonna be tax dollars, and it's the same thing of like the government doesn't earn my paycheck. They just don't, and I don't.
I think that's a false dichotomy. I don't think that. I think that's your. I don't think that's a fair thing to say.
It is because they are they doing my comedy? Are they writing my material? Are they going on the road? Are they getting into fights with my wife about me not being home? Are they buying equipment? Are they buying a studio? Are they putting money in? No, they're putting zero time of their day into my life, but they expect money out of my life. And no,
but
I will never. Hold on, I'm sorry. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And I will never agree with. I will never be like, yeah, you're right. Here's the thing. I am very pro voluntarianism, and this has been shown in studies multiple times again that being voluntary, people are way more willing to give up what they have on a voluntary standpoint, as is. Because the government goes, we want your money. I go, well, I don't know where it's going. I don't agree where it's going with a lot of it. So no, I don't want to give it to you. But I donated so far 3 times, a sizable 3 times to the Barstool Sports Fund to save small businesses. You know why? I know where that fucking money is going. It's going directly to those small businesses. The only middleman is Dave Portnoy going, hey, we approved you. Here you go. And I know because all those businesses have 100% fucking been like, thank you. You saved our fucking lives. I've watched the videos. I've seen the people talk about it. I will gladly give my money to that all fucking day. And studies show other people will do that also. Once you start to put your fucking boot on my neck and go, no, now we want this amount of money from you, and it's going to go to, no. Dude, $40 trillion go to war. I'm sorry. I'm very anti-war. I'm not okay with starving Yemen children. I don't know about anybody else in this room, but I'm not okay with that. And my tax dollars go to that. And I can't support that. I can't support bombing fucking innocent children overseas. And I know for a fact my tax dollars go there. And I will not sit here and be like, well, the roads, fuck that. No, they bomb children. And that's where they go. They go to fucking police organizations that fucking aren't there to fucking police. That's what they go to. They don't go to the fucking roads. They don't go to infrastructure. So no, I don't agree with taxes.
So okay, you kind of inadvertently went to my next question, like what is the aversion to taxes? And you just laid it out pretty well what your problems with paying taxes are, which are all valid. And I don't want to take any of those away from you, but I don't think that switching to a system like in your head, how does that switch happen?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
How does when, not to compare libertarians to the people who rush the Capitol, but they all rushed the Capitol. And then it was like, so what are you going to do when you get there? And they're like, I don't know, but I'm going. So, okay. So let's say you do get rid of taxes. Now what?
Well, again, what are our, this is when a private company, again, this is the other problem too. When I start to say this is you guys, when I say private companies, you guys think private companies as is now. And that's not what it would be in the society of a libertarian society. Because again, like what Jason and I were saying before, we have crony capitalism now, right? Mm-hmm. And we are very against that. We are not for, it's not free market capitalism. Mm-hmm. If you had true free market capitalism, literally people like you and me can actually compete in the stock market. That's just a fact. We could. The reason we can't now is because, like I said before, there's legitimately laws written into fucking place. And again, I don't know them exactly right. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't. But they're like, no, you can't compete with Merrill Lynch. You just can't. And not because they're Merrill Lynch, it's because they're saying you can't.
I hear that, but this seems like a fictional pipe dream. Only in that we're already here. And that's why I led this off with, they want to have their cake and eat it too. Like we can't sit on regulated internet with regulated light systems, a house built to regulations and all that shit, and then say, you know what, fuck taxes. Well, taxes do a lot of bad. And let me tell you something else. This country does a lot of bad on the daily. But all we can do is fight the wrongs. We can't upend the whole system because of some of the wrongs. Because if that was the case, then we should just self-nuke as soon as somebody goes and just destroy the whole.
Self-nuking is definitely an option that I'm willing to.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because that's actually the only way to actually do this. Because you, by just being a beneficiary of a tax system, now you're a part of it. So what? It's seppuku time, baby. You got to get out the fucking knife, and it's across the belly. We all got to drop out now.
Well, here's the thing, Mikey, and by the way, you're not wrong. Like, I'm not saying like if I was running for libertarian as president and I won, I would be like, all right, done. No, because of course that would be like you would collapse society. You know.
Right. I'm more pragmatic. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but that doesn't work in real life. Like, how do we get there?
I'm definitely more grandiose, big idea guy.
I'll Domino's and Amazon control the highways.
I'll give you that. I just go, because here's how my brain works. I go right to like
I want the pinkberry section, by the way.
Because I know like all the middle ground shit in my head, so I just skip it and I go, "What's the ending?" Like not telling you. And obviously, you don't know what's in my head. I'm just being an asshole. But no. You would have to get in and slowly, piece by piece, figure out ways to start being like, okay, how do we get rid of this, and how do we replace it with a better system?
So you would Green New Deal it in a way where similar to how the Green New Deal is written as a process plan to upend an entire system, right? It's not legislation.
The Green New Deal is a process that is a fucking upend the economy. It's financially not doable, but whatever. But it's just like this other thing too is like.
But why do you care about the economy if you can't compete with Merrill Lynch? Like that seems like
we can't.
That seems like something that's completely out of your control.
That's big boy fucking money, right? And I'm saying like we can never even try to compete with like because of the laws. No, because of the laws in place now. But what does affect everyday people, no matter what, is like a $15 minimum wage or like a minimum wage, something like that. Like that's something that will affect you, me, everyone in this fucking room.
Real quick, he's been very quiet. By the way, what's the name of the cigar you're going to review today?
This is a very special smoke today.
It's the Trump 2020, baby.
I've reviewed it before, but my stash is getting low, so I went back to it. This is my very last, and I don't know when they're going to release this again. So you should consider yourselves fortunate. This is my very last CAO Amazon Basin. This cigar is only limited.
The Jeff Bezos edition.
This is only released on a very, very limited release.
I hope it's not a real Amazon cigar because they're going to expect you to take. They're going to say how many puffs are you taking a minute? Oh, you got to up that to. You got to double it. We need double the puffs per minute. But the go ahead and give us your thoughts on because you've been very nice and very, very different from the normal Big Haas. Very quiet.
Well, I've been listening to Mr. Nutter, Mr. Famine talk, and there's 2 points to make, and just all right. Well, 2 points to make. So Mikey was, saying that you can't upend the whole system. Well, I want to push back on that and say, well, isn't that what we're trying to do when we're seeking to dismantle systemic racism? And then on the other side, for Mr. Nutter, my question is, and you kind of alleviated it when you said that you're being very grandiose because, when you talk about flipping to a utopian libertarian society, that is something that takes a lot of time to do because there's a lot of things to unravel in order to put back together again. And that's why Dutch brought up the nuking, or was that Mikey? But
I promoted the self nuking.
Yeah, and it's almost one of those things where you're both right, because to get to a utopian libertarian society and to get to a system or a society that is free of systemic racism in this country, you almost have to blow up the system. And that's what you said the Green New Deal is talking about blowing up the economy, and it's not doable. I think that nothing is impossible if we put our minds to it. And I think that Green New Deal is a plan that, of course, would need tweaks and modifications and things like that down the road. But I think that it's a path that if we go down that path and are willing to, just like we did with Medicare Part D, make the tweaks, make the adjustments, make the modifications. We may the Green New Deal won't end up as it's planned on paper today, but I think that implementing some of those systems and some of those plans will lead to a far better society than we're in right now today.
So if I can piggyback
on that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, let me jump in real quick. So I agree with you, Big House, and I think me and Adam just are diametrically on opposite sides of things because I'm looking at my outlook on this.
Diametric.
Yeah, Google it.
By L. Ron Hubbard.
Just look it up, Dutch. It's a big word. I see what the country is as it is, and I see a ledger, and I see that certain people are owed certain things, and certain people owe other people certain things. The same government that has been allowing the disenfranchisement of people and has allowed Merrill Lynch and Amazon and all these other places to totally take over and ruin any kind of competitive spirit and just general entrepreneurship has been just throttled in this country. It is throttled. You can't do shit anywhere without there being 55,000 of the same thing that all started yesterday, and they all have big money backing them. So you're fucked. You can't really compete with those guys.
Mikey,
so
also, real quick, just to go to your point, also COVID, right? The lockdowns, which just fucked so many fucking businesses. That's the other thing too. Notice what businesses weren't closed. The big ones. Because my local hardware store had it closed, but fucking Lowe's didn't. Tell me that.
Lowe's is a lot bigger.
No, but dude, you could limit the
as
capacity.
far as square footage, and
but still, like to tell Americans they can't have their businesses open it's unconstitutional, straight up. Like you could, I understand what you're gonna say about the safety thing. We could get into a whole different argument, so I'm not gonna go down the road. So I'll just so Big Hoss, I'll just go with your thing for a minute, even though I do disagree with you. I'll just go with you for a minute. Fine, safety it, okay? Then limit. All right, then come out with your fucking government regulations then about square space per fucking store, and then you can limit customer interaction. But to tell Americans your hardware store has to be closed, but Lowe's and Home Depot could thrive.
But I think you're arguing with the government instead of arguing with the virus, because the virus doesn't give a fuck what you're talking about.
I am talking about I am the government. I am talking about the government.
Yeah, so
I am.
So keep arguing with the government. The virus doesn't care.
I'm just saying that was just a thing that happened. And I'm saying because it happened and they closed down these fucking businesses.
Yes, because the virus does not care if you have a hardware store. The virus just wants to spread.
I know, but
we have to be smarter than the fucking virus.
But I know, but you can't have Lowe's open and tell other people they can't open their stores. You can't do that. And
I think the government should have been taking care of those people like they've been taking care of all the other places that kept open. But again, lobbyists and big business have gotten all the money. Those guys should have been able to close their doors for 3 weeks, had all their sales remain the same, whatever their fucking year-to-date average was for those individual sales weeks, and the government could have fucking funded all of that. But instead, we're blowing up kids in Yemen like you're talking about, as opposed to it's not. So I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think the problem is that we need to get rid of taxes. I think we spend money on things that people who have 150-year corruption head start on us.
But
so I'm saying it can be resolved, but it takes measures where money comes out of politics. Big conglomerate monster Frankenstein companies are no longer allowed to just literally fleece because you're talking about Lowe's being able to stay open. How about Lowe's closing about 30 fucking shops every time it comes into town, every time it comes into the county, and it closes all those places. So we're missing. That's a whole separate conversation of why Lowe's is able to just pop all over the place when they're literally selling the exact same thing as everybody else. Yeah, but they're somehow able to close all the mom and pops that surround them.
Well, that's because people are lazy, but also I think it makes sense. First of all, I agree in principle with what Adam is saying. And principally speaking, when I drive by let's say a Taco Bell, and then the bar right next to it is not allowed to have people in it, or like you mentioned with the Lowe's and the Home Depot, or the grocery store compared to a mom and pop grocery store, that sort of thing. Though I think that in that case it might be a bad example, but you understand what I'm saying.
Most of those are gone anyway.
There is a clear difference in the way that different businesses have been handled. I think that people could have perfectly and safely gone to get a haircut during the worst times of COVID if you take precautions during that particular haircut. So I'm with you on a lot of that stuff. Like the girl who cuts my hair, she wears a mask, I wear a mask. She sanitizes before she comes in, I sanitize before I go in. And you're just doing the best that you can. The problem is that obviously some people don't care because of the freedoms. In some ways, we let our freedoms get in front of us a little bit, where people are able to say, well, fuck you, I'm not going to comply with anything. And there's no really legal recourse for us to do anything about it. You're not going to sue that individual for deciding not to wear a mask into 7-Eleven. Go into 7-Eleven, nobody wears a mask in 7-Eleven, right?
Touching up on something different, but I want to touch on that, Mikey, real quick before I forget my thing with you.
Yes.
Is the thing that you have to understand when you're like, well, they should have been able to close the doors down, right? And the government should, right? But the government doesn't take care of its citizens. So the fact that they're the ones who force the closures down, that's why it's unconstitutional, because they weren't.
Well, it's unconstitutional.
That's why
it would be. Hold on, Adam. It would be unconstitutional if they did it without a pandemic. It's not unconstitutional because of the pandemic.
Actually, it is 100%. No, it actually is.
You can't show me that in the Constitution, because
no, you can't show me that. There's actually no law that says you can't deprive American citizens of
yes, there is. It's a general welfare. Promote the general welfare. If the general welfare of people is to not leave your house because there's a zombie apocalypse, then people who leave their house are going to die.
There's actually articles under the Confederation that you can't limit freedom of movement. There's actually a ton of shit. It's actually not.
The articles of the Confederation no longer exist. They were usurped by the Declaration.
No. That brain trauma. I smoke weed. Hold on.
Ooh, that Freudian was fierce, not the Confederation. I don't know.
While he's looking that up, I will say I do. So let me just finish that point. I do agree with a lot of what you said. I think that I really feel shitty for a lot of these businesses, and I don't think the government did their job in taking care of them in a lot of instances, right?
Because they gave a lot of money to the
big businesses
that also got to maintain their openness
and got to stay. Exactly. Yeah. I completely agree with that.
That's not fair at all.
I completely agree with that. So we're completely on the same page as that goes. It was a shitty decision, but as usual, money. There's two types of money in politics. One is the lobbying and the donating. The donating. The other one is corporate welfare, right? Because corporate welfare has been something that has taken place in this country since. I'll give you the first example of corporate welfare: the railroads, right? We've been having corporate welfare since the very first example of it, the railroads, which started the stock market, by the way, in the mid 1800s, as the westward expansion took place across the country. Where do you think all of the subsidy, all of the money from building the railroads came? Almost every single dollar came from the federal government. So there was no individualism. It was just people who got grants. Haas has talked many times about the Headright Act and the Homestead Act and things of this nature, where the government decided, hey, we'll give you, what was it, 160? 168. The Homestead Act was 50, the Headright Act was 50, and the Homestead Act was what, I think 160?
160 or 120 or something like that.
And an extra 50 if you brought a slave. So, so the government has historically funded big business and bailed them out and given them the legs to stand on and that sort of thing, and then break them up when they get too big, and then let them, and then protect them when they fail, that sort of thing. I'm all of that stuff is counterproductive in my estimate. But the money in the politics that I think Mikey and I are talking about is the lobbying and the corporate welfare. Is that a general agreement?
Yeah. And I think it sounds weird, but I'm kind of in that weird age gap where I'm not too
young. You are weird. You're clearly weird.
Weirdest ever, baby. I'm not too young so that I don't like have to care about shit, but I'm not completely old enough to be the head motherfucker in charge. So being in that weird spot, it's very like I have the perspective of whoever's in charge now, in 10, 15 years, none of y'all will be there. So at this point, what me and Adam were saying, all of the things that we agree need to be gone. In 10 to 15 years, I have a lot of confidence that maybe not all of them, but at least half of them will no longer be a thing.
Like what?
Because the people that are maintaining these things.
What is an example of what you're talking about?
Example. So So like wars, all having continuous war at all times. That is not popular with people of my generation. Adam, I'm not sure how old you are, but
34, but
I'm 30. I'm 33.
It's the only silver lining of the Trump presidency is we have a civil war, but we don't have
We had
an international war.
We had no new wars. But this is the thing.
No, we just left people who fucking had our back out there in the fucking desert to die.
That's the thing is like he added no new wars, but he didn't fucking end them.
No, it's a complete false. It's a complete false dichotomy in a lot of ways, but
false equivalence.
False equivalence.
But the point is, he didn't start new ones, though he tried to start one with Iran.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, Adam, I was in 6th grade. You were in 7th grade, right? When the towers went down.
No, I was a sophomore in high school.
Wait, you
said you're 34? Babies.
Yeah,
young baby.
He wasn't held back in 1st grade.
I was 12, 13 years old. Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school. I'm positive. I was in Staten Island. I saw the fucking smoke.
Who the fuck is 14 and a sophomore?
Everyone.
Wait.
When?
14 years old and a sophomore? No, I was 16.
In New York, you start early.
Oh, really?
I
turned
the
16 at the end of sophomore year.
Yeah, no,
that's when you get your driver's license sophomore year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I hit the age where I was the youngest one in my class.
Oh, so y'all had a different calendar, and you was the youngest on that calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like 6th, 7th grade, but you remember when that shit happened, and you remember the continuous, and you remember the bullshit up until today that we've had to deal with.
The Patriot Act, yes,
since the Patriot Act was brought into place. So now
we all celebrated when it happened because we were like, "Oh, thank you, George Bush."
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we only knew.
Some of the fucking forget America. I mean, forget like all this Trump and Hillary and Biden we're talking about right now. Let's talk about that real quick, dude. Man, because I was young. Right. I was living in Staten Island. I personally knew people who died.
Right.
Like we saw the smoke. Like you know what I'm saying. So we're all like, fucking get him. And then you get older and you learn, you go, got it. That's fucked up.
Yeah. You're like, fuck, I was little as fuck. I should never have said that.
But
I had no idea how
being over patriotic.
I had no idea how big of a door I was leaving wide the fuck open.
And then you realize, and this is what's funny too, is like Bush starts 2 wars. Obama goes, hold my beer. Here's 4 more. It's like, cool. And then Trump goes, these wars are great, huh? I'm going to keep it going. It's like, awesome. It's war since 2003.
Yeah.
Oh, it's longer than that. If you count the
wars.
proxy wars that we've been fighting in the Middle East,
right?
We've been doing that since the 1950s.
Straight Iraq. Just saying, straight the Iraq invasion, 2003. They launched those cruise missiles. From 2003 until literally 2021, it's been fucking a constant war.
It's been our entire adolescence into our modern adulthood has been this nonsense. So if we are now, when we get into our 40s and 50s,
I'm already there.
Yeah, we know. We can see it on your face.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Haas, you look like what, 27, 28? You young buck like us. Young Thundercat.
Suck his dick a little bit, why don't you? Jesus Christ.
Reach it from here. Couldn't close my garage door the other day because Haas.
Leave him alone.
He's a habitual line stepper.
That's that shea butter, man, and vitamins.
Lots of water. So like this water right here.
Water.
So Adam, the people in our generation, there is no way we are ever allowing anyone to start that bullshit again.
Sure you will.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't know, dude. I mean, fucking. This is the thing about.
If we got if the Patriot Act, if we get rid of the Patriot Act,
we're not.
Hypothetical here. So if the Patriot Act goes away, and then something else happens, and then someone tries to reinstate it, do you think me and you are voting for that?
We don't vote on it.
I'm. Just go with the
okay. Oh, no, no.
Man.
All right, brother.
No. Yeah. So if we had anything to say about it, no, that's terrible. We saw the damage that it did before, and we saw what infringements that it put on people's personal rights. How people were able, for any reason, from the government. They can pick you up in a fucking black fucking floral van or whatever they fucking disguise that shit in, put you in a dark site forever with no consequences, no repercussions, no
purposes.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want to you they have a blank check to beat your ass for life. No, fuck that. And I think there isn't a way that we explain what the Patriot Act is and what they can do to you using it that anyone wants to keep it. So I think that's our challenge, is to convince people of the bad things in the society and what needs to be fixed in the society, which is why I'm always arguing with people.
No, you're right. You know what the problem is? You go, the NSA spied on us, and like Snowden's like a fucking hero, and so does Assange, and then people go, I don't know. I think what he did was bad. It's like, cool, you're really well informed. It's like, you're arguing with that. And when you have most of that to argue with, it's a real bummer, and it's really hard to get your fucking point across.
Yeah, but those are the same people that are in Congress right now.
Yeah, right.
It's those people with fucking press briefings and with like security clearances. It's the same fucking people. So my job as a U.S. citizen is to make sure I get us's in the fucking up into the Capitol. I want us's up there. I don't want dumbass motherfuckers.
Not climbing the wall. But we're
not sitting there with a fucking buffalo head.
We're not advocating for the wall climbing and impersonating Tobey Maguire here. But
Dutch, I can't believe you got your cell phone back after you fucking visited the Capitol a couple weeks ago.
I did. I got it back right away, and I got my job.
This is funny because I'm sorry, go
ahead. The difference, I think that again, as a guy who has I have a lot of progressive leanings. I have a lot of libertarian leanings. So I call myself a libertarian progressive, even though that doesn't exist.
No, they do. They do though. They're in the party.
The term, when you Google it, comes up with nothing. I kind of invented it. So don't take that away from me, you fuck.
But there's different like caucuses in the Libertarian Party, right?
Right.
Sure, but nobody knows who's in them or what they are, because Libertarian Party has no voice. Not even the local Libertarian Party in Bakersfield. When I tried to get involved with them, they were like, "Well, we're just about four guys who get to drink beer every 3 months."
Well, they should do a better job, but like
they should.
Bucks County, where I live, right in Pennsylvania, like I'm like getting involved in their stuff. And I think I'm going to take it over, honestly, because I'm just fucking better.
See? That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's the thing is
there's fucking 40,000 of politically actively minded people our age. These fuckers above us, sorry, Haas. These fuckers above us won't be here long enough, and they can't beat us in an election. So,
the
dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
But the point though is that what Adam just kind of threw salt in his own wound, in a way. You can go into your local Libertarian Party. You can volunteer there. You can become the leader of it. They're both on the bottom now. See, we're in the grave. They're putting us halfway in the grave, Big Hot.
We are on the bottom now. We're up here. What's up?
You can go into the party. You can build influence within the party. See, you can't do that with Google. You can't do that with IBM or Amazon. I can run for Congress. I cannot run for the board of Microsoft.
Right, but if you could break the laws apart that stop that bullshit, you can. That's the thing. Amazon doesn't. Yes. Amazon only influences law because they influence the person. It's not like that's the thing. The government isn't a fucking entity. It's people. Like it's not like the government's a floating orb.
I totally agree.
Oh, great government.
My logic is undeniable.
It's people. So Amazon goes, here's money, fucking Republican and Democrat. Take
Republican Democrat who want a new Bentley SUV.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. That's why. So if you can't get in there, So if you can't get in there and be like, no, fuck you, I'm not taking that shit. No, I'm actually going to repeal that law. That's what Mikey's talking about. Also, Mikey, by the way, this is what you said. It's something interesting. You said diametrically we're opposed, right? But I think diametrically
L. Ron Hubbard.
I think we're diametrically opposed, like economically. I bet you socially we're fucking right down the middle. Like we're on point.
I think
I almost guarantee we are.
I think that's probably true because most. Wouldn't you agree that most
Did we just become best
libertarians? Wouldn't you agree that most libertarians are, and this doesn't mean all, because there's some Ben Shapiro libertarians who, again, we've already agreed are not real libertarians.
He's not. Trump's like, I'm a libertarian president. Like,
but the party embraces Ben Shapiro, right? Or not Christian. The party, but a lot of the people in the party, they look at him as their he's one of our popular libertarians.
No, they don't. I don't think so.
I see that all the time.
Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I belong to the Mises Caucus in the Libertarian Party, which is like it's like the most constitutional caucus, pretty much, right? And we fucking don't like him. I don't know. It's like you know what I'm saying. We're pretty hard. Like
not sovereign citizens, right?
No,
I don't need a driver's license. Here's a copy of the Constitution. But
like, I don't subscribe to your laws.
You have no authority over me.
But I think most actual libertarians that I've met, when I talk to them, are pro Black Lives Matter, are pro LGBT rights, that sort of thing. I've met very, very few. Now some may say, "Oh, I don't like riots," that sort of thing, but they're not maybe paying attention to the whole story. But I've never met a libertarian, a real libertarian, who is anti any valid social movement, where with Republicans, it's like 95% of them oppose a social movement just because they don't like the social movement. You might have libertarians who say, I don't like identity politics because I think...
Oh, I hate them. No, they're the worst. I hate
that's
those.
A trait of us, right? We can't stand... but most of us also understand that while we don't like identity politics, from time to time, they do have some necessity and some need.
I disagree with that, actually. I don't think they do ever. I think no, because that's feeling shit, and feelings don't. Because here's the thing: your feelings shouldn't dictate policy, never, ever, and no one's feelings should dictate policy.
I'm not saying that.
Hold on, Dutch. Let me push back on that. So if it's already written into law that certain people have written laws based on their feelings about how they feel about other people, then
what do you mean? I'm sorry. I still know what you mean. Like,
I mean, Jim Crow was a thing.
So that's you're talking. No. We're talking different things here.
Okay, but those people had feelings and they made laws about them. So that's
and they were right and they were wrong.
Right. But
you shouldn't make law based off feeling. Yeah, dude. No. Because it could. No, that's exactly why. This is my problem with progressives in the left.
But we're not talking. But we're not talking about law. We're talking about a social movement. A social movement is not law.
This is my problem. This is my biggest problem with progressives. Is like it will backfire on them because like we want law for our feelings. It's like, well, it can turn on you.
It's not about. Hold on. Adam, you're mischaracterizing me, and that's why I started because I was like, I was really.
You're right. That was a broad statement. That was fair.
I was trying not to scream. I don't want my feelings protected. I want my feelings not, I don't know, trampled on. I want to be, liberated.
What do you mean? But give me an example. I don't understand. Like, what?
If somebody wants to express themselves the way they want to express themselves, the government or anybody else shouldn't be able to discriminate against them because of that. Because that's their feelings about how someone else feels about their body.
Agreed.
So we're on the same page there.
The problem is that it's not the government that does this. It's social. See, culturally, you have social movements, and I'm not talking about the ones that were in favor. I'm talking about like look, identity politics. The bad thing about identity politics is this, and this will preface my statement. And identity politics, by their nature, breed more identity politics to combat those identity politics. Those become political, right? When the political parties pull that up. We haven't heard from Haas though. Haas would love to chime in. Why do I have to keep interjecting you into the conversation? What the fuck are you doing? Did you eat a weed brownie?
I'm not sharing my brownies.
Have you ever seen this before, Mikey? He's just sitting there listening.
I'm enjoying this cigar
dangerously. I feel very threatened.
Here's.
Calm down, Ken.
We're talking about, we're talking about.
Kevin.
Calling the cops right now.
We're talking about human issues as if they're issues of feeling.
Some are.
We're saying that we're saying that the laws that were made to oppress humans were made by feelings, And those people that are trying to dismantle those laws that were made to oppress people by feeling, those humans that are just trying to be treated equally as humans, that's their feelings. Like, we feel human.
This is totally
because
not.
I felt the same way, Adam, because I felt like you were playing both sides towards the middle. So either way,
maybe you're misunderstanding. Maybe you're misunderstanding me.
That's the feeling I got. And that's why I was like,
maybe you're misunderstanding me. In other words, governing off of feelings is bad because of what you guys just said. Well, Jim Crow were laws governed off feelings. I'm sorry, was Jim Crow awesome? No, that was pretty the worst thing. Right?
That's what we're saying. It's a bad thing.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't say that we should be governed by feelings. We're saying that we should take other people's humanities into context.
Yes,
when making laws.
Okay, I was building up to my grander point, and I'm not being clear. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Hit that 1-2 punch. Get him, Adam.
This is my point. So, like, just like that's not a good idea, right? People making Jim Crow laws off their feelings, because that's clearly fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's gonna get to be crazy another way, where it's gonna be like Canada, where here's the thing, man. Like, again, I don't care if you're trans. By the way, I have a crazy fucking story where I'm trying to make it a bit, but I'm pretty sure.
You want to test it out?
You better Dave Chappelle it. You better Dave Chappelle it. Let it rip. Let it rip. Let it rip.
I told the story.
Hey, nobody's listening, so go ahead.
Yeah.
I told the story multiple times.
Hey, this is just the four of us, man. No one's here.
No, I told the story on my podcast multiple times. Years ago, when I was like 22, back when I'm like drinking days, I was heavily hammered in AC, and I had a threesome with a chick, and I don't know about the other person. That person blew me and never took their pants off, and I'm like, weird Adam's apple to have for a chick. That's all I'm gonna say.
So you are gay. Okay, interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
But was it good?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a good. It was a good So my point is, like, I got
to the point where he was like, I don't give a shit.
From that day forward, I've been pro LGBTQ rights. Yeah.
No, it's like, I don't give a shit if like, here's the thing. If you want to be like, I'm a Zurzim zip zop zip, I'm like, cool, man. Here's how it works, though, and like how it should work. And it is, again, this is why I'm talking about the feeling based stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll get to it. Let's say, Mike, you're like, hey, I want to be Azizim Zur. Right?
Okay.
I get to go, hey, man, that's fucking stupid. I'm not going to do that for you. Right?
Okay.
Now, I could be I could be an asshole. You could be like, you're a fucking prick. Sure. In Canada, I could go to jail for that. Now, you're going to tell me you're going to take away my fucking rights as a human being because I was like, nah, that's fucking silly. I'm not doing it. No, listen.
So you're not doing it. What does that mean?
I'm not going to call you that. Like, I don't have to do that.
Why not respect that?
Hold on. I'm not saying Adam Nutter wouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm using myself as an example.
Right. It's me. I'm the Zim. He's the Adam. Yeah.
Right. I'm saying like, and by the way, I agree with that guy. Not in the sense of like I agree with his thought. I agree with that he shouldn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do.
Okay.
Now I'm not saying go club a fucking tranny. That's not.
Whoa.
Trans person.
Adam Nutter are not necessarily the rhetoric of Adam Nutter.
I don't want to hear
trans person.
Let's be respectful. All right, I had sex with them. It was fine. It was enjoyable. That's fine.
And I didn't have sex with them, but I can still be respectful. Just because I sleep with somebody doesn't mean I can be disrespectful. Let's not call them trannies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever.
Yeah. Just
comic in me. Whatever.
I got you.
Sorry. But yeah, so like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Adam Nutter doesn't care. But I'm gonna defend the guy or chick to be like, nah. I don't agree with it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Now,
I'm not gonna call you Cheryl, Steve. Is that what you're saying?
Now again, that guy could be an asshole, but that.
Oh, he is an asshole. I mean, come on.
So again,
it's not gonna hurt him to say Cheryl.
It's not.
It's the same. It's the same.
Right. This isn't like
a name is a name. So just call him the different name.
Again, this isn't. We're having a moral argument, and I'm saying like you're right. I'm agree. See again,
I know, but you're saying that it's because it's wrong for Canada to say your ass is going to jail because you won't call Steve Cheryl.
Now Adam, that goes.
How we live here,
Adam. That's why it goes right back to what I was saying before. you have to put the people in power to make the legislation that you think that you deem appropriate. Like, this is not a static system. And that's why I hate constitutionalists so fucking much, is because they fucking, back in the First Amendment, I was like, yeah, back when I couldn't be in the house and I had to stay in the shack around.
Back when it took 10 minutes to reload a fucking gun.
Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here. Like don't hit me with some old ass fucking bullshit.
And stuff doesn't change over time. It is irrelevant. Your speech.
Well, who had a freedom? Well, people had freedom of speech, right? But blacks weren't people.
Yeah.
So that changed.
Right,
so fuck out of here with all that
now. Shit. Right?
Yeah, it's not the case now. So why harken back to those days now?
Because your freedom of speech is just as protected as mine or Jason's freedom of speech. So why wouldn't you want that? No, it is. No. It is. I'll defend that all day. It 100% is. It is not. This is the only country in the world where we truly have it. Truly.
Bruh.
It's true.
Bruh.
You can say anything you want.
Well, you can say that you have it. You can say that is true from a legal context, but you cannot say that is true from a social context.
That's not what I'm talking, guys.
Right, and the social and
see, the thing is, dude, you're arguing about you're talking about some shit on paper that is not being implemented in society equally.
But it might,
social culture impacts politics.
But there are certain people who want to put shit in law like that, and I'm saying you have to separate your personal values from legality. Sometimes. Like shit like that. It's great. It's not right.
Some values are universal. Some human values should be universal.
Murder, property, sure.
So let's for a long time the law was legal but not moral. You agree?
Again, we're going off of creating laws off of feelings. This is what I'm saying.
You think morality is
feelings out of it, and you have to go what's just fair for everyone involved here.
But then you're talking about feelings of fairness.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about moral. I'm talking about moral objectivity or ethics. Like things were not ethical. They were legal and lawful, but they were not ethical.
Legal and ethical are not the same thing.
Right, but you know what's fair for everybody? Freedom of speech, no matter what credence or color you are.
And that's what I'm saying. Right.
But your freedom of speech is limited. We have limited freedoms. No,
we don't. You can't threaten somebody. You can't make a threat.
That's a limit.
Right, but that's a valid limit because you can't make a threat in someone's life.
You feel like it's valid.
Now you have to determine.
Because that goes back to murder, and we could all, as a society, to function. Because this is the thing. Society is independent of government. You can have a functioning society, and no, you can. You can have a No, you can. You can have a functioning society, and we could all agree, like, no, murder's bad.
But not all of us agree that murder is bad. Not everyone agrees that.
He's somewhat right, because there are societies, and there have been societies up until there probably are some now but like the Native Americans didn't have a traditional hierarchy. They didn't have a necessary government. They didn't give people land. They didn't believe it was there, but
they didn't believe it was their land to give due to their religious.
Yeah, they believed that the land in a very libertarian way. They believed that the land was free for everyone, and that everyone had equal right to it. Which is sort of a socialist / libertarian line of thinking.
Why does the government own the land under you, even if you buy? Why I own my house? Why the fuck do I have to pay property tax?
Well, because the government decided.
I know why. I'm just saying that was hypothetical or rhetorical. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Rhetorical.
No, and
hypertorical.
I'm writing that down.
Rhetorical.
Hashtag hypertorical. I need a fucking t-shirt. Wait. I got a main screen. I got a main screen myself for a second because.
Boy.
Narcissism. Yeah, aka the guy who stole my fucking song and put bullshit over the top of it. Anyway,
we're gonna play it in a
second. RAP to GOAT. I have my designed by my homie at Cosign Worldwide Clothing.
Oh, it's Kobe. Dude, I couldn't even see what that was.
It's Kobe with the globe at the fucking the second Dream Team. That's dopest cool. Shirt I fucking own. I have a GOAT one with a 80s MJ with the fucking gold chain and earring, except he's got a goat face as opposed to the MJ face.
Oh, sick.
That layup.
The 1 year anniversary of him dying was what, yesterday or the day before yesterday?
Yes. Yeah, really pretty.
And we lost Hank Aaron the day before that, which Haas, real quick, Hank Aaron passed away, and also very big on civil rights. Do you have anything to say about that? I don't know how much of a Hank Aaron fan you are.
I'm a Hank Aaron fan. I watched the documentary about what he went through in the season that he broke the home run record. And he was very vocal on social issues and issues of equality and things of that nature. I did not delve into his entire essence as a person enough to speak on other things, so I'm gonna have to keep that short. But knowing what he endured, from people that thought it would be heresy for a man of color to own the home run record, and then also knowing what the things that he did as far as trying to advance equality issues and things like that, I had a ton of respect for the man. I don't know that I have the intestinal fortitude to perform under that type of pressure. The threat of death. The threat of death for swinging a stick at a ball.
What about Jackie Robinson? Fuck Hank Aaron.
I think Hank Aaron.
We'll talk about that later. I'm gonna talk about Jackie Robinson later.
Yeah. Fuck Hank Aaron. Jesus Christ, Jackie Robinson, real pioneer.
I think Hank Aaron said he got like 122 letters,
like a day.
Yeah, or I thought it was a week, but like he was getting like 120 letters a week or something like that during that time and shortly thereafter that were just repulsive shit.
Yeah.
And he kept them all.
Oh, see, that's a different brand. That's a different brand of person.
That's some big hairy ones right there.
Nah, you know what I'm doing? I'm calling the post office like, I need a manager.
I think
give me my prehistoric cell phone. Let me call. Who is the manager of the post office? Give me the postmaster general.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers still sending this shit. I told you to just throw it away. I don't want this shit in my.
Don't even send that to my crib.
Who's your manager? I need to talk to your manager's manager. What's the corporate number to the post office?
What's my name? Karen.
All right, so
I'm going full blown Karen, Dixie cut and everything.
All right, we're gonna go to one of our favorite segments here in a minute as we get close to wrap up here. But I do want to do this real quick, so I'm going to do what Mikey did, and I'm going to give no, I don't want to do that because I don't like having I don't like having it that way. But all right, so I put this together. So if you're listening, give us your thoughts. If you think it sucks, Mikey's going to probably remaster it and everything, but I do want to play this. I put this mug is last night.
He's still
shut up, Big Haas. I am taking the white privilege and taking.
You just gonna tell.
I think that you'll like
it.
Did you even listen to it, Haas?
We'll see.
Okay, so you didn't even listen. All right, here we go.
I did.
Proof the DC is real in America.
They be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
Patently false. Fake news.
3 punches.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
What a great beat.
The end of the Republic has never looked better.
Big Haas.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
I enjoy Big Haas.
Am I allowed to talk?
No, not right now.
You crazy Dutch bastard!
Mikey, you're getting a bit upset here.
Mikey, you can edit.
Want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism?
Well, I'm not like a smart guy, okay?
And you put his ass in there.
The media said what? Ha, 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 ha. This is not a fraud case.
My favorite podcast.
Big on America.
That's genius.
It was very long.
It is very long, but it's about the same length as our old intro was. It was 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, Big Haas, like, hate, have Mikey do something different with it, your vote. You get the only vote. Your vote is the only one that counts. So
let's see what Mikey does with that.
Mikey's already voted no. I voted yes.
Thank
so you have to be
Big Haas, for your support. I will be mixing
Let's
and
see what
mastering that.
Mikey does with that. Let's see what Mikey does with that, and then we'll put them together and we'll do a vote off.
I am a benevolent dictator as a producer. Jason, Dutch,
play the part where it says, Mikey, you can edit.
Dutch, you can write me a script up. Thank you. I have beautiful, lovely voiced, golden corded women who would love to record our intro for us. If only we had a script for them. So why don't you write up a script? We can put in some Flav, we can put in some our names, and they can say our names sexy like.
We can still even use Venice.
Yeah, hit up Venice, and then we'll throw in some spice from some other ladies and give them a chance to be on the spotlight. So let's try that.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to use that as the outro music for the audio podcast, and you put something together.
You fucked up my phrasing in the song, though. That's why I'm pissed off about it. Because
what do you mean your phrasing in the song? I had to cut it. It wasn't long enough.
Pause.
You were too short.
Pause.
Too short. Okay.
Too short.
So there we go.
He didn't ask me for.
Jenna's already volunteered. She said she's going to do it.
See, so there you go. So don't post whatever the hell you're going to post, and let me.
I post what I want to post when I want to post it.
I am a descendant of the mountains of Caucasus.
All right, we got to go to the vile place for 5 minutes, not 25.
Don't fucking interrupt me then.
You're right.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinking today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
I'm not on drugs.
Big Hussein, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? On Dig on America.
As I said earlier, I am
the Victory CAO. Where's our shirts?
Shut the fuck up.
Stop interrupting them.
Oh yeah, go.
So, like I said, I've spoken a very, very limited release of a very, very special cigar. All right, this cigar only comes out once every 3 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is the CAO Amazon Basin. All right. Now, this cigar, like I said, only comes out once every 3 years. All right. This tobacco is called Brananca. All right. It is a rare tobacco harvested from a remote region in the Amazonian rainforest.
Oh, no, okay. Nicaragua?
Shut the fuck up.
How about the República Dominicana?
Okay. It is harvested in the Amazonian rainforest. Okay. Like I said, it is grown in this tropical land. Every 3 years it's harvested, and then it's rolled by hand into tubes and fermented for 6 months.
Okay.
Yowie zowie.
They actually have to transport these leaves that are in this cigar by canoe back to the mainland. Okay.
That lets me know where it is. I can find that island.
This tobacco, Brananca, I can't say it right, and I'm sorry about that. It's BRAGANCA. All right. It's blended with tobaccos from 5 different countries. All right. And the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Sumatra Ligero wrapper. And Ligero wrappers, as we know, are some of the strongest leaves there are. This is basically it's so close to full pause. And
that'll do in a pinch.
It actually has gotten. I've had this cigar sitting in my humidor for about 3 months because I didn't want to smoke it. I wanted to wait because I knew this is my last one. So I'm gonna have to scout. I'm gonna have to Marcellus Wallace search for this cigar.
I love him.
Okay, I've got to scour the earth to find some. And if I find a box, don't tell my wife. If I find a box of these damn cigars, I am buying that box.
Tell her it was for me, and that I paid you back already.
Mm-hmm. Hey, check it out too, though. Like I said, I said earlier, my stash is getting low. So if anybody has a cigar out there that they want to donate to the cause, to the humidor for review, and for Haas, holla at your boy.
Teacher,
yes.
This is student number 1. You can see my picture is clearly visible. I am noticing, if you could just hold that up for the Zoom classroom here. The wrapper on that cigar, it looks almost to be some sort of twine or rope, dental floss for maybe a person with large teeth.
The band.
I got myself. Fuck.
The band
looks like
the noose from Bubba Wallace's locker is wrapped around that cigar.
It looks like it's fresh from Talladega.
This is actually when you make a cigar, you cut off little pieces.
I piss excellence.
And make the cigar. And this is actually some of the wrapping tobacco rolled up and dried and made into the band.
That's some fucking Bear Grylls shit. Pardon my language, sir.
Sure is.
That's some Little House on the Prairie shit there.
So as I was saying,
rolled by Michael Landon personally.
The origin is
Nicaragua?
That's right, because the other tobaccos that are used are from
República Dominicana,
Nicaragua, and other countries. All right. So the seeds, the tobacco seeds that are blended with these cigars, you're interrupting again. The seeds are from 5 different countries, blended with this tobacco from the Amazonian rainforest. Okay, but the seeds for the other tobaccos are actually grown in Nicaragua. So, the taste,
with that palate,
the essence, a little bit of pepper. I get some cocoa.
What are you pairing that one with there?
And
keep it moving, big fella.
Little bit of a woodsy note. Today, I went ultra ghetto.
Don't you show them that? Don't you? God damn it!
I got a cup of unknown origin.
Did you cover the cup at least? You put a napkin.
And I've got. Hold on.
Game of Thrones, that shit. Thank you.
So this cup contains strawberry lemonade and ice and
oh shit.
Yeah, he went to Sonic.
El Silencio mezcal.
That's why I wasn't talking this whole time. He had a couple sips of El Silencio. Got his ass right up.
Now we know.
El Silencio had my boy House like, yeah, that's a good point you made.
I put more than a snootful of this mezcal in here. I may have poured and counted to 5.
He clapped his chest and said, "Woo!" I thought it was Ric Flair in this bitch.
So,
you put that cup away. You hurt my feelings right now.
Little sweet.
That's supposed to be your finest damn cigar, and you drinking out of that damn styrofoam cup. Come on, man.
No pinky up today.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm smoking with my pinky like this.
You bougie in a mug. Yo, pinky.
Because hey man, you know something? Here's the thing though.
Yo, bougie.
You gotta have balance.
Oh,
you gotta have balance, man.
It's hood now.
You know. Now this cigar.
I can't wait for the rating.
As you can see, veiny.
Ooh,
dark. Pretty good burn line.
Yeah.
Pretty good burn line. Very consistent throughout. I've relit it a couple times because I had to step away for a few minutes and it went out on me.
Had to touch it up, as they say.
Had to tend it. You know what I mean? Had to tend this piece. But the flavor remained the same. The experience remained the same. I didn't, because I know how to relight a cigar. We're gonna talk about that. But anyway.
Excellent.
This is a excellent cigar.
Drum roll.
4.8.
4 point. Oh, that's very good. That's a very high score.
4.8. And you know something?
The dog does not like that.
This thing.
I drummed on the table. I drummed on the table, and he thought it was the door knocking. So that's my bad.
My dog's stupid too. My dog.
I gotta go calm him down.
My dog hears the doorbell go off. He just fucking goes shit like on the TV. I'm like, you idiot.
So I took 2 tenths off because the ash fell on me.
I get that.
I'm being petty Pendergrass when I do
that. No, I get that.
You know, but the ash fell in my bulbous crotch region, and I didn't like that.
The bulbous crotch. All right, so Haas, what else you got?
All right,
non-humidor related. Let's. So you want to?
Oh, the Houston Texans hired a coach today.
Oh wait, I was gonna say I gotta get out of here because I have a 35-minute ride home.
No. Hey, you know what? We're actually we're wrapping up anyway here in a second. I just wanted to give Haas the chance to do his final thoughts for the day. First of all, if you are listening to this show, and it's maybe your first time listening, and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and whack that subscribe button for us. Whack it, and we'll give you a nutter.
Oh, yuck.
If you are watching you can also watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/DOA podcast. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/dig on America. Just that. It's finally gone through. It took a couple days. You can also find us on Facebook at Dig on America. And watch any of those places. Thank you. You can also find the podcast, which is also Dig on America, on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. You can catch the audio version if you miss the live stream. So what we'll do here is we'll pass over to Adam real quick. Adam can tell us where they can find him, all that type of jazz. Thank you for joining the show, Adam. Where can the people find your shit, sir?
My butthole
in the toilet. Oh, that means you don't wipe well. You got to wipe better.
No, I'm a great wiper. My asshole is very clean, sir. I will never have a dirty asshole. I want an infection. I have like an irrational fear about that. Anyway, check me out.
No, Adam had an ass infection, baby, when he was 7. He never got over it.
No, I have certain irrational fears. I'll always make sure it'll never happen to me. Like a shark
spiders, heights, dirty butts.
Those are real fears. Shark in a pool. That's an irrational fear. I have that. You guys didn't have that? You still don't have that?
Does anybody really know where all those pipes go? They might go straight to the aquarium. You don't know.
I won't be the only person or first person in a pool because of that irrational fear. I'm a fucking crazy person. Anyway, at Adam Nutter on Twitter, Instagram, at Adam Nutter Comedy on Facebook. If you guys are watching this live and in the New Jersey area, check me out. I'll be in Egg Harbor Township tomorrow. 2 shows, 6 and 8 o'clock. My info's on my social media somewhere. Check that out. On my podcast, Cult of Us, I do with my dumb friend Neil Wood, another comic, and it's a comedy podcast. I don't talk about politics. I am going to start a politics podcast, but that's not it. So go over to Cult of Us. It's just funny, just joking around, being idiots. So we're available everywhere. Cult of Us available everywhere. Please subscribe to us. Thank you.
Hey, we'd love to have you back, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like having the.
We got more to talk about.
Yeah, no, I like having an actual rational fucking political conversation because most I have is people being like, "You don't know." I'm like, okay, and whatever. It's just like most of that.
We yelled at each other, but we didn't fight.
No,
we just yelled. We just both like the yell. We're not mad. We just
I'm a New Yorker with brain damage. Like I don't like. I'm just gonna yell. Like that's just what it is. Like I'm sorry.
I'm from St. Louis. I've been drinking river water for fucking 20 years. Fucking like, my bad.
Dude, people don't get it. They'll be like, "Adam, you're yelling." I'm like, oh, I'm just talking. Like,
no, I just really want him to hear me right now. It's like, yo, you know,
dude, I'm a dumb Italian from fucking Staten Island. This is I only have an outside voice. I don't have an inside voice.
What the fuck is inside?
Exactly. So I just let her rip, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not mad. Like, I don't know if I'm mad. Like, I'm definitely not mad. I'm just like passionate. Like, no, I was a good talk. I like that shit. Like, I don't mind when people disagree with me. People think like people who care about that is crazy. Like, like they won't talk to you if you disagree with them. Like, okay, well,
I only want to talk to people I disagree with because that's more interesting to me as like an intellectual
echo chamber.
My wif's in a fucking political echo chamber. It's very annoying. So
I bet she's on the internet.
I do have one question for you before we let you go. Who do you think is the best comedian out there these days? Who is the purest best? Like, is it somebody like Kevin Hart or whatever like that?
Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr?
No.
Bill Burr,
Adam, before you answer, there's only one answer. You better fucking get it right.
Oh, shit. The stakes are high.
Chappelle or Bill Burr. I don't know who the fuck else would have been.
Adam fucking Nutter, you goddamn fucking
it's Adam Nutter, you ass.
Island piece of fucking shit. You're not from the fucking
you piece of shit. You piece of shit.
You're the best fucking
piece of shit.
You son of a bitch.
God damn it.
Adam Nutter is the best.
That's the faith of your convictions, you piece of shit.
That's a bad Staten Island impression. I'm not good at impressions, so I would know. No, probably Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr. Dave Chappelle has fallen off the wagon for me.
My favorite,
I like Bill. I like Chappelle too.
My favorite comic of all time is Patrice O'Neal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fucking heavyweight that a lot of people don't know about. Like that is
he wouldn't compromise.
That motherfucker
He would not compromise.
That motherfucker punched hard.
Dude, I met him twice. Once as a non-comic and once as an open micer when I was like fucking 19. And he made fun of me and it was awesome.
That's a good day.
It was a great day.
That's a good day.
Dude, he died the week of my birthday. I was born on the 28th. He died on the 21st of November.
Damn.
And I was like,
it's almost like you took his soul.
I know, right? It's like, I gotta die before his birthday. I was genuinely like, and I met him twice. Didn't know him. And
you were upset.
I cried. Because I was like, I was like a brilliant mind gone. Like, it's a bummer.
Speaking of Bill Burr, did you see Bill Burr's amazing takedown of the entire city of Philly?
Dude, of course.
Oh, for people who haven't seen it, and I want everybody to go YouTube this right now. Tell people what they will watch. And that was it 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
So, fun fact: I was at the show right before that.
Damn.
Biden.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
By the way,
lies.
All right, real quick, because then I gotta go. Okay, you have
go ahead.
1:30 in the morning for me. What was the question? What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
Describe to people how epic that Bill Burr rant is.
I was at the Homedale PNC show before that. That's where I met Patrice, by the way. Funny enough, that show. The next show, Bill Burr, they were in Camden, and it was the ONA Traveling Virus Tour, and Bill Burr it was before he was who he is. He was still a headlining comic, but just not who he was. He just didn't, he was a regular road headlining comic, like a Tim Dillon almost, or something like that,
Great.
And this is the thing with the ONA crowd, they fucking like to drink, and they go hard. So they were just fucking way too hammered, and no matter who was going up, they were just booing. They just kind of wanted to see Jim Norton. That's kind of so it didn't really matter. Oh, and Patrice. They just wanted to see Patrice and Norton and no one else. Like no matter who was coming up, no matter how good they were doing, they're like, they're being drunk Philly assholes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Burr's trying to do his set. He's like 5 minutes in. They're just booing him for no reason. He's not like he's doing bad. They came out to booze. He just was like, you know what? Fuck it. And just turns and nukes the city of Philly. He's like, your fucking sports teams are stupid. He's like, your candy stripe uniforms are gay. He just started like trash. He was like,
you got a fucking statue up there of a fucking imaginary fucking. You got a Sylvester Stallone. Rocky Marciano's a real fucking guy.
That wasn't it. It was even better than that. He goes, yep. He goes, you guys have a statue of Rocky who's fake, but Joe Frazier's from here, but you're racist. You can't handle it. So you fucking have Rocky. That's what he said. It was very funny. It was very fucking funny. And and he turned the crowd where they were like, yeah, at the end of it, completely flipped them. It's some of the most brilliant shit I've ever seen in my life.
And he was given a countdown
Yeah,
every step of the
He was
way.
like, I'm doing my fucking time. Because like other comics were like, and I would have done it too. They were like, fuck it, see you later. They would just bail early. And they have the timer in front of him. So he's going 10 minutes. And he's like 10 minutes left. And then he's like smashing the mic stand. He broke it at one point. He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, Donovan. He's like, who else is on your team? Donovan McNabb, because this is how long ago it was. He's like, I hope he snaps both of his ACLs on the first play of the game. He just shit. Dude, he's just shitting on the. It was some of the brilliant.
And that would go on, and they'd be like, "What's this? 7 minutes? I'm not done with you, fucks.
Like, I'm not done with
dirty
you.
Philly cheesesteak,
Like, you fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
You just
One attractive person in your whole goddamn city.
You go home and kill yourself. Like, dude, he just.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so I'm in Philly physically right now. I'm in North Philly right as we speak. I have no loyalty because I'm a New Yorker. I just live in Pennsylvania. I have no loyalty to this place. Fuck it, I don't give a shit.
You went there to vote. You went there to vote illegally, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
As you do.
For the right-hand candidate.
I mean,
he went in to right-hand vote illegally.
Yeah.
Hey, I voted for Joe Jorgensen. It doesn't matter.
Well, you were there. You were there to vote for the third time. So yeah. You voted early enough. Jorgensen and twice for Biden and once for Ted Cruz.
I threw one for Howie Hawkins too. Fuck Green Party. There's some Green Party love. All right, I gotta fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Hey, thanks for showing up, brother. We appreciate it.
Have a good one, man. It was good to meet you.
Yeah, super awesome meeting you guys. Definitely gotta do this again.
For sure.
So much more topics. I'm sure.
Yeah,
right.
We'll have you back in a month or so, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. All right, boys.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so the and Irish Swede, you missed your you had a line on the show a little earlier, making fun of Mikey, but you didn't get to hear it, so you got to go back and listen to the music. Big Haas, you got a topic to bring up of your choice since you've been so nice and quiet. We're going to delegate to you. See, the white people, what we're doing here, the white people are delegating to you your time on the floor.
My finger's hovering on the button. Hovering on the button, Haas. Just say the word and he's out of here.
You get to, I have the button too, you jerk. So
all right. So the Houston Texans hired a coach today.
Oh,
yes.
Did they really? Who
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
it was Bieniemy, right? For sure.
they would not hire the best qualified black candidate. They hired another black candidate.
They hired zero.
Yeah.
So they hired a guy who is currently the assistant head coach and passing game coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, fun fact:
Ray Lewis.
I can't remember his name.
Oh,
and that shows you something. But the pass offense of
I'm laughing at a comment. Sorry.
Ravens. Guess where they ranked this year?
The pass offense of the Ravens, they didn't do all that.
Where did they rank?
I don't know.
Out of 31 teams,
I'll guess 15th.
30.
I'll guess
31. Dead
Damn,
last.
I didn't get to guess.
I'm sorry. Dead last.
30th, 31st.
So what they did was they checked the box. We hired a minority. But what they did was they hired a minority they can control. This guy's been in coaching for almost 30 years, mostly assistant position coach jobs, stuff like that. By all accounts, great coach, good guy, da-da-da-da. However, when your name cannot even be remembered, and I just was looking at it, and I still don't remember, they did not hire someone with the cachet and the power behind their name to have significant input or even be thought of as having significant input into organizational decisions. In other words, they hired a puppet. They hired someone that they could control. Okay. I am reminded his name's Cullen. David Cullen or something like that.
Culley.
Yes.
Yeah.
All accounts, great guy. I hope he does well. But in coaching circles and in player circles and things like that, like his name was not even mentioned as a candidate. Okay. So this is just, damn, I had an example and now I can't remember because you fuckers kept talking. I'm reminded of tokenism. I'm reminded of, making sure you give the appearance of certain things, but behind the curtain, what's really happening is you hire someone that you could guide, and that's a disservice in itself. The most qualified candidates were overlooked. They knew that they could not hire a Leslie Frazier or an Eric Bieniemy or a Pep Hamilton to this role without giving some deference to their opinion, because Leslie Frazier, Todd Bowles, they've been head coaches before. Pep Hamilton is a widely respected. His name comes up every year. Every year when there's coaching vacancies, Pep Hamilton's names come up. Leslie Frazier's names come up. Todd Bowles' name comes up. Eric Bieniemy these last few years has come up. And they went and hired a guy whose passing game was dead last, who nobody knew was even on the radar until today.
Real quick is just to, because I did hear earlier some negative stuff. So Louis Riddick, so on Twitter says, I know, I have no idea. He's got a blue check.
Louis Riddick was up for the GM role. He was up for the GM role at Houston, and that's when the search firm said him and Omar Khan would be the top best candidates to hire, and they went and hired a white guy.
A couple days ago,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. I thought there was another one who was hired like 3-4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
A white.
Now you got to read. You got to read what Louis Riddick said here. Read what he said.
Right. Well,
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it. I don't want to read it.
These are the words of Louis Riddick on Twitter.
I know new Texans. No, I'm just kidding. I know new Texans head coach David Culley very well. If you want to wish someone the very best going forward, this is the type of human being you do it for. He has my respect, and I could not be happier for his opportunity.
So what did he say there? He said he's a good guy.
He's a great person.
He's a great person.
And he has my respect.
He has my respect.
Glad he got the opportunity.
I'm happy he got the opportunity. AKA, he's a good guy who's been in coaching for 30 years.
He never said that he was a great coach.
He never said he was a great coach. He never said he was the best candidate.
The one I want to focus on, though, is the Citizen Keith below that. It says, it's wild to see so much negativity from fans who don't know much about him just because he wasn't a name they've heard mentioned before. The Texans, Esther B. Watson situation is a mess. But Culley looks like a good man. I don't know how Deshaun Watson feels about this. So, but here's, let me counter your point just a touch. We've been hiring people in this fashion in all pro sports for decades, and they have always been white guys you never heard of before. So I suppose that it is, this can't be all bad.
It's not bad because he's got the opportunity. But here's the thing. If he's not winning in 2 years, where will he be? Meanwhile, Doug Marrone got how many years in Jacksonville?
Right, but
okay, Matt Patricia got how many years after they fired a dude that had been to the playoffs for them?
Jacksonville was more the fault of the front office in that particular situation. Because
okay, the front office for the but still, they gave him the rope to hang himself with.
Well, you're always
okay. The rope is much shorter.
Sure. So you think it's a railroad situation?
If you think Deshaun Watson is going to be there come kickoff of the new season.
Well, this is
not by force.
Was this a move that Watson supported? Possibly, we don't know this.
I seriously doubt it,
because they either have to make a decision on whether they're going to keep or try to trade Deshaun Watson real fast.
Well, you know what? He's going to force their hand because they didn't. Well,
they want 3 first-round picks. That's not. They're not necessarily going to get that. You know what I mean? So I would say it's only 50-50.
I'm saying this, that The last thing you want is a disgruntled face of your franchise leading your team on the field.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's why I'm wondering if he had anything to do with his hire.
Like the tweet said. The guy said, "I'm surprised to see so much negativity about this guy because nobody knows who the fuck he was. His name wasn't even mentioned in the candidates that are being interviewed, but he gets the job. You got a guy leading probably the most prolific offense we've seen in a long time in Kansas City. He don't get the job.
I'm totally with you on that, but I'm not. There are other hires that I would say are more. I would get more irritated.
You're missing the nuance here. You're missing the nuance here.
They
hired him
the same way
for optics. They hired that guy for optics, but they were like, "We're gonna check this box. We're gonna check this box, but we're gonna still hire our man that we could control." That's what makes him the best candidate, because the other candidates.
You don't think they could have controlled Lovie Smith?
Fuck no. Hell no. His name's too long. He's been to a Super Bowl. You got to give him some deference.
I'm not sure that I'm with you on this one. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but we could be having the same conversation with them hiring an equally unknown linebackers coach or quarterbacks coach or something of that nature from
that's
any
what
one
makes
of the 30 teams that we.
But they do that all the time. They do that all the time.
Yeah, they do. So that's just the thing. They've done it again.
What I'm saying, you got to understand, man. You have to understand. Houston is a fucked up organization.
Oh, they're totally
okay. Fucked. And guess what? Them motherfuckers are not going to hire a fucking good a coach that they can't control, because the organization is more concerned about their power than winning.
Yeah, they're probably moving into a period right now, especially with not having a draft pick until like pick 60 this year.
Well, yeah, because freaking Bill O'Brien. How long did they give Bill O'Brien fucking up? They gave him the head coaching job. Then in the middle of his mediocrity, said, "You know what? You're doing so great. We're gonna make you the GM too."
Yeah, that team is in a lot of trouble. I almost think that if they trade Watson, they're gonna have to trade JJ Watt too and get. And just burn it. And if they're hiring this guy as a sacrificial lamb, so to speak,
it's almost like tokenism to me.
So if that ends up being the case, then I'll change my opinion of it. At this point in time,
we shall see.
I'm not going to.
He might do a phenomenal job, and I hope he does do a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
But the circumstances around his hire scream tokenism, scream somebody that we could keep our thumb on, scream somebody who's been in coaching a long time and is salivating to have that crown jewel, the feather in his cap of his coaching career, to be a head coach at the highest level. And a good man
who
wants something like that so badly might compromise a little bit.
Oh, Mike Pence? Perfect example. All right.
I'm just saying, watch that situation.
No, I'm not completely. I'm not completely against what you're saying. I'm just not completely there with you. Final thoughts, either of you or both of you. Let's take it for the day. I'm out.
Can I close it out, Haas?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to full screen my beautiful, sexy
face.
That's
enough, guys. I'm going to play the music.
Let's see the hatred.
Look at that Anthony Hamilton-esque beard.
Yo, I thought my beard was actually doing something. Here come. They could
have picked a better picture of you for that background, though. I mean, did they pick your worst picture on purpose?
I love it because it makes me look like a scoundrel, and that's me. So
he's like, "Hey, I just
look at my car.
I got all your credit cards.
Look at my car."
But my dimple's in it, and that's awesome. So I love it. I love it forever.
I thought that was beard scraggle. I thought that was rogue beard scraggle.
No, that's just dimp. It's a little dimp I got on this side. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our lovely patrons. Shartan, you dick. Blake, Bill, the Herfcast, friends of the show. I was wearing their shirt a couple weeks ago. And Paul. So thank you guys for being loyal month by month patrons for quite some time now, looking at the fucking numbers on this. Thank you. You guys are supporting independent media. You guys keep us going. If you guys want to join us on this quest for media domination, the link is right there. www.patreon.com/VFU podcast. We'll get that switched over eventually, but not quite yet. So, in summation, tonight, Google that too, Dutch. I know you're going to want to.
All you sapiosexuals out there, listen close.
I'm getting your medulla oblongata wet, girl.
That's right.
Tonight was fun because it's fun to argue. It's not fun to be mad at people.
Arguing. It's spirited debate. I'm sorry, you got final word. Let's do it.
No, you can hop in. It's cool. I don't mind. But it's fun to bounce ideas off of each other and say, no, that doesn't work because of this, and this. Well, it does work because this, and this. But I don't think it works because of this. That's how projects. That's the woodshed. That's how things. That's how things get worked out. You don't work things out by just saying, well, I'm a libertarian, so I'll never agree with you. So no to all of that.
You're for killing babies.
Yeah, the people who say that are the same ones who buy Viagra, so suck my dick.
You're for killing babies, though I can't listen to you. You're evil.
Yeah, you can't have babies with a limp dick, so fuck out of here. It's important to have these spirited debates, as Big Haas said, with your friends. And if they can't take that, that's not your problem. Mr. Nutter, I had never met before tonight. But we got into a spirited debate over things. And I don't hate him. I don't agree with him. But I still want to continue the conversation with him. So remember to, especially because there's a lot of salty ass Trump people out there.
To be fair, though, you liked Roderick at first. Just reminding you.
You've had Jeff Dornick on this show about 3,000 times. He's a white supremacist.
Dornick is 100 times better.
He's a white supremacist.
All right. I'm not completely sold on that, or I wouldn't have the guy on the show.
Well,
but he's he's kind of 1,000 times over what Roderick was. That was just a hateful, bigoted charlatan of a fuck, and
he's the same thing as Dornick because he's just doing shit to get attention. That's all Dornick does.
Well, I mean, I understand that that's your opinion. I don't get that read there, but I certainly see. I think there's a difference between people who are
actually crazy and pretend to be crazy.
No, I think there's a difference between people who are genuinely misguided and people who know what the fuck they're talking about and are overtly hateful. I think Dornick falls into column A, and Roderick falls into column B.
I think
that's my opinion. That's my opinion on that. Maybe I'm wrong, but again, if you've noticed, I haven't invited him back on because of multiple reasons. So but let me know what episodes he's going to be there for, and I have to work that day. Well,
are you gonna leave me with that guy?
Hell yeah, that's your problem now.
Well, we've already had the discussion though. So I told you I won't have the guy on again. We can move on to other conservatives. We had what was I can't remember. Anthony Mecca Davis. We had on the show a conservative 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Was I there for that?
Super rational guy. Oh yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago. You were on with him. Super rational guy, the kid with the brown hair who was the conservative. You're not remembering him?
No, I don't remember him either.
Probably because he was so.
Are you
so
sure you didn't
agreeable.
just go on someone else's show and then you?
No, I'm 100%
there.
No, he was on this show 100%.
Either way, even if you disagree with how to get things done, when it comes to left or right issues, you might realize if you do a little bit of digging and if you ask the right questions in the right way, you might get them to reveal that they feel the same way about the end result that you do. He didn't want tax money wasted. Neither do I. That's something that we can agree on, and that's something that we can fight. He wants to fight it by getting rid of taxes. I want taxes to be reined in and spent on people who actually deserve them. So there's common ground to be made. So even though we've won this presidency, us rational people, I won't even see left or right. People with brains won this election.
Did we win?
Yes, I just told you that, Dutch. Black superiority just told you that we
won.
Won. You heard me.
But here's my question for you. Is Biden a win?
Yes.
Yeah.
If Trump loses, it is a win for intelligence.
I'm with you on that. But
so then why are you disagreeing with
in the general context of things? I'm not sure that
in
Biden
the general context, yes. Hell yes.
I would
why, Dutch?
have seen
because that motherfucker that was rolling back police protections 4 years ago, guess what? You're not statistically 2.5 times more likely to fucking be a victim of the people he's rolling back.
But you're comparing Biden to Trump. That's easy. I'm saying there were multiple other people on that stage during the Democratic National the Democratic debates is where I'm going, that I think would have been far better representatives of this country as president.
And if a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump his ass every time he jumped.
Right. So guess what? Did I vote for him? Yes. Am I happy he beat Trump? Yes. Am I hope Trump never comes back? Yes. Does that mean is Biden a win?
Yes.
I'm not particularly ready to go that far.
I'm not saying it's my number.
I'm not saying that he wasn't the best candidate. No, but he was miles better than Trump.
It's not the best. It's not the best possible future that Dr. Strange saw. No, it's not the best possible one, but it is one, and I'll take it.
So it's a better future than we would have had if we had 4 more years of Trump.
And there's no utility in even bringing that up because it doesn't matter.
It is what it is.
We're not comparing Trump here. That's an obvious. We're saying I'm questioning, is Biden a win? Because I would argue that the fact that Biden, who is a comfortable candidate, was even given the nomination in the first place is not a win. It's a settle. And I'm not sure a settle is a win.
Is that backtracking if you settle?
That's what Biden is a backtrack.
So
he's a callback to the 80s and 90s of
hold on. Before you go into a long-winded diatribe in which you forget your own point, let me say this. If you're climbing up a fucking ice shelf and you have the pitting and you're just driving that bitch in, and then you try to drive another one in and it doesn't stick, but you still got the one that you had before, and you didn't fall down, or you fall down, but you're still holding the pitting that you just put in place, the last one that you put in place. Is that a loss or is that a win? Because a loss is you falling down completely. A win is not dying. We didn't die. That's all we need for now, and we can move forward from here. Not dying is a win.
Well, I can look at that particular analogy and say, if I hadn't fallen in the first place, or hadn't put my ice pick into the wrong place on that hill, then perhaps I wouldn't be in the position where I had to save my own.
Yeah, but you're in that position though.
But it's snowy. There's
beating Trump is a win. I'm not sure Biden himself is a win.
Biden is a byproduct.
I don't hate Joe Biden.
Biden is a byproduct of that. Right. Whoever it was, it doesn't fucking matter. He needed to go.
Period. And here's the thing, Dutch. No matter who won the presidency besides Mango Mussolini, there will be somebody making the same case you're making right now, saying that that's not a win, because nobody is the perfect candidate. And we have to get over this, especially as liberals or progressives or non-conservatives, however you want to call yourself. We have to get over this pie in the sky. If it's not the absolute perfect candidate that checks every box, then we're gonna be upset. No, fuck that. The devil is out. Now, is this dude Jesus? No, but he damn sure ain't no demon.
Yes.
I'll take it.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I'll take it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
you know, I'm not
sure why my point is so.
No. But I'm about to go to your point.
You didn't want it. You said yourself, I'm going to go hold my nose and vote for Biden.
Right.
When you hold your nose and vote for someone, the result is the actual result cannot be called a win.
Based on his efforts,
it can be called a settle. You're settling.
Based on his actions so far as his orders and things like that, he's already doing things that I'm like, okay, those are good things. Now, when he tapped Mr. Monsanto to be the head of the EPA, I don't like that.
Would Bernie have done that?
Probably not. But is Bernie going to do everything that I like? Probably not.
What is the utility in that argument, though, Dutch? There is no point. And this is the thing that people who are older than me constantly get mired and dragged into. No one gives a fuck about who lost. Whoever won, fine. Now you're my bitch.
Now we got to put his feet to the fire. Everybody out there.
Exactly. Now I'm on your shit. Whoever wins, I'm on your shit. If you win, that's great. Just
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I'm not sure where the disconnect here is, because I can say the exact same and have said on this show hundreds of times
Good luck trying to get through to Trump. Good luck trying to get through to Trump.
Who's talking about Donald Trump?
But we're talking about,
how is he part of this? Donald Trump is not part of this conversation.
Yes, he has to be.
Trump,
because guess what?
Somebody
the policies
influence.
The policies that he wanted to, if he had gotten 4 more years, the policies that he wanted to further,
why
the
are we
agenda
talking
that he
about
wanted.
Donald Trump?
Because
Donald Trump
you're not understanding.
Beating Trump. Listen. Beating Trump is a huge win to get that vile ass out of office.
And guess what,
that does not mean that the person who replaced him is also a win. You filled a vacuum.
Guess what? This is what I'm saying to you. Based on just on the executive orders that he's listed already, it's a win. The executive orders that he's put in place already is a win.
Orders he put in place already. He undid all of the idiocy that Trump did. Of course, we're going.
That's a win.
That's a fucking win.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to call him. I'm not ready to pronounce him the savior yet. You want to
fuck no? He's not a savior. Nobody
I'm
said
not doing
that.
it. I'm not
Nobody's
doing
that.
You're
saying that.
You said a win. So we're going to hold his feet to the fire.
Hey, guess what?
Nothing.
No one fucking
nothing. It's proving nothing to me. He's been in office for a week.
That's exactly right. So why are you judging it not a win then?
So then why are you
judging it not a win?
Nobody was happier that he won than I was, but I don't believe that that is a win for this country. I'm sorry, because his history does not speak to him being someone who will drive the type of change that is needed to get what we need in this country. It's just
he'll put us closer than we were.
That
will be closer than we were.
Probably a valid point, but
now, Dutch. Let me put this in an analogy for you.
Super Bowl a win? It's not.
Hey, guess what, Dutch? I'm gonna put this in an analogy that maybe you can understand as a quasi sports fan. All right,
quasi
as a coach, if I'm coaching the team and we play like shit, but we win the game, I will go in the locker room and I will say, we won the game, but there are this, and this things that we need to work on to get better, to not have it be so close, or to not make these mistakes. Biden is that win.
So it's a subjective win or de facto win, one of those two terms.
It's de facto.
Because what you're saying,
by any definition,
because what you're saying,
win.
In any situation, if your situation is better due to a change, no matter how minute the change is, if your situation is a little bit better, it is a win. If I'm homeless and someone says you can sleep on my couch tonight, that's a win. Do I have my own house? Fuck no. But I slept in somebody's couch that night and I'm not sleeping out on the street. That's a win. Is it the win you want? No, because you want your own fucking shit. You want your own job. You want your own address. You want your own car. But one thing you definitely don't want is to be sleeping out in 10-degree weather outside the street.
Right.
So you won.
So we're probably using that. Then I think that to help you guys out here.
You're not helping me.
Oh, to help us.
No,
Well,
fuck
but-
that. Fuck that and fuck you. You're not helping me. You mischaracterize what we fucking
You've
said.
mischaracterized everything I've said. You've based it on my age and you've based it on my inability to understand arguments. So what the fuck are you talking about?
You
what the
literally
fuck
just
are you
said-
literally talking about here?
You're literally telling me
I am
that
telling you
I-
that progress
Tell
is
me
not
what
a win.
Tell me what
Progress
I said,
is,
and I can run.
How is progress not a win?
Progress.
I
is
tell
not
my clients every day,
not.
if you
can
get a little bit better,
characterize it-
you won.
You can characterize it as a, I think we're fighting over the fact that we're using one that we're thinking our perception of the word win is probably different.
You
I think that's
disagree
what we
with my
need to agree
statement,
on.
and then you say
I didn't disagree with your statement, Mikey. I asked you, is it a win? That's all I said.
It's
I said,
progress.
is it a
So
win?
yes, it's progress. So yes,
it's progress.
So
a win
your
to you.
perception of the word win and my perception of the word win are clearly not the same thing. And
So
we're
because
arguing over
don't
that.
put it on us like we're misunderstanding what win means. Like we're too fucking stupid.
Like, you think that I don't know what it means?
If you think that staunching the bleeding on someone who has had their femoral artery cut, if I staunch the bleeding, are they healed? Are they better? Not really, but they're not dying. That's what this was. The bleeding has been staunched, and that's important. I've stabilized the patient. That's important. This is a stabilization period, in which case I get to fire up my fucking engines and start kicking Democrats square in their ass to get fucking shit done.
That's called making progress towards something.
yes,
You can call that a small win if you want to.
everything is
I'm fine
progress.
with that.
Hey, guess
But-
what? When you fell out of your mama's womb, did you walk down the street? No, you progressed to that point. So every step you took was a win because it was on your way to the goal of walking on your own. Did you know how to talk? No, you progressed to that point. So you went from gurgling to babbling to speaking gibberish to talking. It's progress. Every time you did that, did your mama say, "Oh, he's babbling now, but fuck that. That ain't shit."
You are the king of good analogies. I'm not sure if this is the best one. Okay. But I understand what I think this person thinks that I think this person tuned in just now and they think that I'm arguing that Trump.
I don't know.
No, that's not what
I
he's
don't know why
arguing.
you're engaging with them as opposed to your co-host.
So anyway, that's not what's happening here. I think we need to agree on. Again, he's saying that I think Trump.
We all agree.
That's not what I'm saying. What
we
I'm
all
saying
agree,
is
we all agree that Biden wasn't the best choice.
right.
Yes,
That's that right there is enough for me. Biden wasn't the best, but
no,
I don't think that, I think that there were people
this extra shit on.
I think there were people who would have been a better fit than Joe Biden. Did I vote for Joe Biden? Yes. Would I vote for Joe Biden again tomorrow? Yes. Am I happy that Joe Biden beat Donald Trump? Yes.
Frog
Is
analogy.
Donald Trump a fucking idiot? Yes. Am I glad that he's done a couple good things in the first few days? Yes. Do I believe that there were better people that could have been in that position? Like Bernie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally
So
fine.
I
It's
advocate
milk
calling
tone.
that a win.
It
That's
is milk
all
tone.
it is. That's all it is. It's
that's
my
water under the
perception, and I
bridge.
get to have that. It's my perception. I get to have
Yes,
that.
you can have that because guess what? No matter what your perception is on that, the motherfucker in the office designated number 46 president is in there. So it's almost like you're crying over spilled milk because you're thinking there's a better container to put it in. But guess what? The container's there. That's the one we got. Let's just roll with it. No, it's not the best scenario. But guess what? It's a better
Anything's
scenario.
better than Trump. Yes, I agree
Anything's
with
better
that.
than
So
Trump.
that would be a win,
And-
would it not?
And even
That's
if
the difference. I don't call that. I don't call replacing Trump.
okay, we're
with
not gonna let's not
another
get
run-of-the-mill
into
politician a win for America. I call it going back to where we were before, and hopefully
which is
getting back
hey,
to
you
a
know
sense
what
of
though?
normalcy.
But you know what though?
Can
Going
you call that a de facto win? Sure.
Probably.
I'm not sure it's a win in the context that I think of the word win in.
well, here's the thing. A win, like if I were to take your perception
Your
of
analogy with the football game was perfect.
yes, but
It was
here's the thing.
perfect, 'cause I get that.
Your perception of a win in this context is someone that's going to come in and just steamroll all kind of radical stuff through, or not necessarily even radical, but just sensible stuff through, and do a lot of things to progress us forward in a drastically meaningful way. Do I think Biden is going to do that? Not necessarily, but I think he's going to push us in that road, and hopefully over these next 4 years there will be enough benefit seen by the populace to continue to elect people who are going to keep pushing us down that road. You know what I mean? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Now, some steps might be bigger than others, but any step in the right direction must be respected, and in this case, sometimes celebrated. That's all I'm saying.
I certainly celebrate the fact that Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's
why are you celebrating if it's not a win? The fuck.
Hey, you know what, Mikey?
Things that aren't wins.
Guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's just say, hey, Biden wasn't the best candidate, but we're all happier that he's there than the other guy, and call it a night. Let's close out.
All right.
I think you just did it.
We're done.
Love y'all. Stay classy. Be cool.
Love y'all too. Goodbye.
Be kind to each other.